RCC and San Bernardino Valley first played football against each other in 1926. In 1948, the Topeka, Atchison, and Santa Fe Rail Company donated the bounty for this rivalry, the Victory Bell, which has resided in Riverside since 1996. Coming up next on Riverside TV, the 74th edition of this cross-county showdown. Welcome to Wheelock Stadium, folks. My name is Ghazal Hassan. Here's Jeff Gorham alongside. It is RCC against San Bernardino Valley College. Some JC gridiron action here in the city of Riverside. Let's start with the Tigers, the home team from RCC. Over the years, Tom Kraft, very renowned for his offense. They're very prolific. They score a lot of points. Last week, however, they had to gut out a defensive win on the road against Fullerton College.
Well, when you're 91-15 in 10 years, and you can dictate the way you want to play the game. If they want to slow it down, they'll slow it down. If they want to score, they can do both.
Moving over to San Bernardino Valley College, their offense over the first two games has been prolific, to say the least. 1,000 yards already passing for Jeremy Mosa. He's already thrown for 11 touchdowns. That offense is clicking pretty well, isn't it, Jeff?
Well, I'll tell you what, when you score 131 points in 2 games, something's definitely clicking. They scored 80 points 2 weeks ago. This is unheard of, and it's going to be fun tonight, to say the least.
These two teams played last year. It was a 77-35 RCC win. And to be fair, RCC is the more established program, but Daniel Algadas, the head coach at San Bernardino Valley, he brings a money ball approach to football. Any way they can pull the upset tonight, Jeff?
I think they can. If they decide to go all out and just run, score, they have an opportunity. The problem is RCC's defense can tighten up at any given instant.
It's the Tigers and the Wolverines in the battle for the bell. Now we'll kick it to the third member of our broadcast team, Pep Fernandez, standing by.
Hey guys, big news coming out of RCC with the Tigers climbing all the way to number 1 in the state, also number 1 in the nation from the JC Gridiron poll. Also, big news for San Bernardino Valley College, a perfect 2-0 to start the season, as is the Tigers, but San Bernardino Valley College, 2 wins, averaging about 65 points per game in their first 2. And Jeff, I know a little bit later in the show you want me to tell the story of the Indio Fire Department, and I will share that story because these are 2 teams that can score a lot of points. It should be a good one for the Tigers and the Wolverines, both a perfect 2-0. And again, that target on the Tigers' back larger than ever now with that number 1 ranking in the entire land. Ghazal, Jeff, back to you guys.
Carson Reed will tee it up for RCC. Kobe Stribling back deep with Montremore. 2-0 Tigers, number 1 in the nation against San Bernardino, 19th in the current California coaches poll. And Carson Reed will put it into the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and San Bernardino will start 1st and 10. And we talked about him in the open, Jeff. Jeremy Mosa, their quarterback. He is an Eastvale Roosevelt product, played for Tommy Leach. Prolific is almost an understatement.
I'll tell you what, anytime you throw over 1,000 yards in 2 games, that means you're averaging 500 yards a game. Just put that in perspective. A great quarterback was at the University of Hawaii, transferred back, and I'll tell you what, he has this offense going on all cylinders.
The big boys up front for Daniel Algadas on the Wolverines. Frederick Ochparocha on the left tackle. Matthew Chadone, the left guard. Corey Butcher at center. Oscar Figueroa, the right guard. An intriguing player at right tackle, Trey Edwards, 6'11" from Arlington, Texas. He is a former basketball player. Kevon Johnson, Deonze Nolan, the wide receivers, along with Aaron Howard. Cade Greeley, the tight end. Daryl Turner Jr. will be the tailback to start it off. And they'll start off with the empty set, will San Bernardino Valley. 1st and 10, line is the 25. Mosa down the field trying to stretch it, incomplete. Intended receiver on the play. We don't, of course, don't have a number 6.
I'll tell you what, though, Musa almost got away with one right there. Threw just a little bit outside, but there was nobody behind that receiver.
Play action. Here comes the pressure. Ball deflected and falls incomplete. Dangerous pass. Cade Greeley, the intended target for San Bernardino Valley College.
Yeah, number 6 is Cole Schroeder out of Chaparral.
Got to say it like Pep.
Chaparral.
Empty set, 5 receivers in the formation, 3rd and 10 from the 25 for Jeremy Musa. Steps up in the pocket. Here comes pressure. Puts a little bit of air under it, and it's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ray Estes. Estes weaving past the 35. Gets to the outside. Got a convoy. He'll cut back in. Touchdown, Tigers. Flag on the play. We'll have to sort that out afterwards. Tyler Kinslow in there with a late block to spring Estes to the end zone. So a pick 6 to start the game, and let's see what the officials have to say.
Yeah, if you watch Musa looked a little rushed back when he let go of the ball. It looked like he might have been tipped because it looked like somebody was duck hunting out there. That ball was end over end. Let's see on the replay. I think somebody hit his arm, and it was just a bad toss there.
A caucus of officials, and we'll get another look at the pick. And Estes, now all of a sudden, he just becomes a wide receiver. Gets to the outside, and that block late by Kinslow springs him into the end zone. The flag came in late. So take the 6 points off the board. There were 2 fouls on the play. One was on San Bernardino and one was on Riverside. Riverside will keep the ball and have it 1st and 10. So no pick 6, but the interception will stand. And so the first turnover, though, Jeff, by San Bernardino, and they really needed to play a clean game, especially early against Riverside. You don't want to let the Tigers dig in. If you're Daniel Algadas and the Wolverines, you want to get off to a good start.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, even though that 6 points didn't count, that still everybody on that sideline knew it was a touchdown. That could be really tough, especially the first series. But Coach Algadas probably is telling his quarterback, hey, look, you've thrown for 1,000 yards. This isn't a big deal. And it's a snake bite. That's a snake bite series. Let's see if they can get it out of the way.
So line is the 16, 1st and 10. We'll get our first look at Mike Irwin. Irwin, the sophomore from Lake Oswego, Oregon, was a University of Oregon player. And now he's playing here for Tom Kraft at RCC. Here's the give. Moving to the right side is Griffin trying to cut back up between the tackles, and he goes down at about the 15-yard line. Some extracurricular activity there. He's tussling there with Daniel Miles, so about 1 yard on the play.
Yeah, Mike Irwin, I'll tell you what, watching him play the first game of the season, he's very mobile. You know, they went with 2 quarterbacks. He and Barledge. Barledge more of a pocket passer, but Irwin kind of a Tim Tebow-esque.
Ty Kennedy at the top of your screen. Option. Good play. Irwin is taken down. Mike Estevine makes the play, the middle linebacker for San Bernardino Valley.
And that's where they're going to use him. They're going to use him on a lot of RPO stuff here because he is so physical and runs like a running back at times. But stop there. Great defensive effort there by the Wolverines.
Ty Kennedy split out to the far side. Rolling right. Irwin looking complete. The underneath completion to the running back Griffith. The flag comes in, so we'll sort that all out on the 3rd and 8th play. On the season, red zone wise, RCC 78%, 7 of 9, but 5 of 9 on touchdowns. So second flag of the game, well, technically third flag of the game already. The first 2 penalties, one was declined. And we'll get pass interference, offensive pass interference. So Coach Algadas will have the penalty marked off and let them go again on 3rd down. Back it up to the 29-yard line of San Bernardino.
And the one thing we didn't see from Irwin the first time we were on Riverside TV is he didn't throw a long ball. We saw Barledge come in, throw a couple deep passes. We didn't see a whole lot of Irwin testing the secondary, threw a lot of tunnel screen passes, and really look to get to the outside because they do have explosive speed on both sides of the ball.
Giovanni Sanders will now go to the far slot. Split out to the far side is Ty Kennedy. To the near side is Isaiah Leaf. and a timeout called by RCC. So when I talked to Tom Kraft earlier this week, he obviously wasn't particularly happy with the offense. He felt the defense and the special teams carried them last week against Fullerton College. Of course, Fullerton, pretty good team. They're always ranked. They're ranked this year as well. RCC went and got their first win over Fullerton since 2014. And early on, the defense makes a big play. And he was kind of on the defensive backs, too. He felt they weren't good in terms of playing the ball last week. Well, Estes, I thought, played the ball well on the pick. And now the offense stalls a little bit. Penalties were an issue last week for RCC. 13 penalties, a couple of the false start variety. This wasn't a false start, but obviously the pass interference doesn't help them.
And that was the problem against El Camino is, they did put a lot of points on the board. I believe they put up double nickel 55, but they did have so many penalties in that ball game. And, in fact, 2 touchdowns called back. It could have been a much better game for the Tigers.
2-by-2, that's Ty Kennedy, the extreme top of the screen. Third down play. Finds a spot in the zone. It's complete inside the 15, back to the original line of scrimmage. The completion. They're going to say. I thought they said incomplete. Isaiah Leaf with the reception.
I'll tell you what, give a lot of credit to Donnie Long as he's watching her in the replay here. Offensive lineman really holding that D, giving Irwin a lot of chance to throw the football.
29-yarder. San Bernardino took a timeout, Jeff, because they had too many men on the field. There was a man running off the field. You may have heard the coach in the background, special teams coach for RCC, yelling to his team to hike the football.
Yeah, it would have got him an opportunity to possibly go on 4th down. It would have given him 4th and 1, 4th and maybe 2. You got to be smart if you're a long snapper. You got to know those things.
Tom Kraft said special teams won it for us last week. They blocked 2 kicks. They had a big loss on a fake punt by Fullerton. And he said Carson Reed, who was the punter and the kickoff man, might have been our MVP last week.
That's always something when your kicker's your MVP. You got to count on those guys because, like I said, they win ball games for you.
Zach Cyrillus on to try the field goal. He's got a long of 33 this year, 2 of 3 on field goals, 8 of 8 for PATs. He is from Norco High School. Great kicking tradition at Norco High School.
You and I called several of his games. He's an amazing kicker.
Has the distance and has the accuracy. It's 3-0.
I think
RCC at 12:25 to play in the first quarter. You remember Lucas Harvisick was the previous kicker before Cyrillus. He's now at Arizona. Zach was the kicker after Lucas Harvisick, and he's pretty good too. He had a big year last year as well.
And I'll tell you what, there's always been a tradition of kickers here. We're going back all the way to the 70s. Frank Corral, played for the Los Angeles Rams, played at UCLA his first 2 years here. He was an All-American. He never played. He was a soccer guy in high school, went to Norte Vista, came out here and started kicking the football, was the leading scorer in the NFL.
Number 7, Cody Sterling, along with the big Kyle Schroeder back deep for the Wolverines.
Schroeder and Stribling back to receive again, and the aforementioned Carson Reed will kick it away. 3-0 RCC, 12:25 to play first quarter. Ghazal Hassan, Jeff Gorham with you. Pep Fernandez down along the sideline. Number 1 ranked Tigers of RCC against San Bernardino, the battle for the bell. Here's Schroeder. Got some room, gets a block, but now he'll be tackled. First man to him from RCC was Nathan Bolton, Vista Murrieta product, and more flags.
You were talking about, before the game, we got the band back together. What band would we be? I have a good one for you. You're going to enjoy this.
I'd say the Cars, but, they just had a tragedy, so I won't say that.
No, we're like the Jonas Brothers.
Mbop. No, that was somebody else, right?
Yeah. No, I think it might have been those.
We have better hair.
We do have much better hair.
So the personal foul will be assessed against the Wolverines. And the ball will go back to the 14-yard line. San Bernardino has struggled with penalties, too. They've been penalized 23 times over the first 2 games. And I'm wondering, looking at the numbers, that might just be a CCCAA thing as opposed to either one of these teams. I guess they call a lot of fouls at this level.
Yes, they do. In fact, Pep calls a lot of the San Bernardino Valley games, and he says, Yeah, I was there for 4.5 hours. Penalties.
Musa brings them to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10 from the 14. Here's the give. Skittering to the outside is Darrell Turner Jr. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10 for San Bernardino. Clock moving. Turner Jr. again trying to get the edge, and he won't. Getting in there and tripping him up for RCC. Kylan Ross. Ross from Calabasas played his high school ball for Chris Claiborne.
Out of John W. North?
Yeah, North kid. Musa, what a smooth motion there, one-on-one. Incomplete. Intended target on the play was Eric Wells, the Pacific High School product, San Bernardino product. He was covered on the play by Kylan Ross, 4th down, and San Bernardino now will have to punt the ball. We'll get our first look at Ben Falk, Citrus Hill kid. Falk line drive kick. Fielded about the 47.
And like you said, penalties everywhere.
Sean Darso on the return for RCC, and we'll need to sort this out again.
I believe they're probably going to call a personal foul or a targeting. I thought it was a pretty clean hit, as we're going to see here on the replay. I mean, it is a monster hit.
So they'll back it out. I'll tell you what, it's probably harder to call it full speed than watching it on a replay video,
Exactly.
Jeff. So they're going to mark it back. What do they call targeting there? 15-yard mark-off. So RCC will begin on the Tiger 40-yard line, 60 yards to traverse. With 11:15 to play here in the first quarter. Keep in mind, when these two teams played last year, the score at the end of the first quarter, Jeff, was 35-21.
What?
One quarter.
Holy smokes.
So here's Irwin, thrown to the outside. Sanders runs past the tackle, gets over midfield, and then he's knocked down there. Combining on the hit, Jaden Rowe, our first look at him, the product from Notre Dame High School in Riverside. Also in on the hit was Shaylon Lewis from Rubidoux. First down to the 47 of San Bernardino. Irwin, little toe tap. Underthrows Elijah Bennett out of the backfield, incomplete, 2nd and 10. Bennett, a Claremont High School product. Tom Craft did say running back by committee today. A lot of guys will get a shot. Here's the throw. Here's the completion to Retzlaff. Retzlaff with a straight arm. And now they'll say he stepped out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. It'll still be good enough for the first down. Retzlaff, his 6th completion on the year. The freshman from Centennial High, the Evil Empire.
Well, it's a big-time target for the National Player of the Year 2 years ago, Tanner Mckee, who is going to be playing football next year at Stanford as he's finishing off his Mormon mission.
2nd and 10. Play action. Retzlaff again. Now he'll have the first down. A flag comes in, and they'll have to wrestle him out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. So a 15-yard pickup, 2 straight completions to Retzlaff, but let's see what the flag is about. Tom Craft right there in front of the white hat, hands on his hips, kind of staring out at what's about to transpire. And looks like it's going to get marched off against the Tigers. So it'll go back to the 40-yard line.
The illegal man down the field was the call.
RCC, Jeff, comes in averaging 35.5 points a game and 338.5 yards per game. About a 2-to-1 split in yardage, 115 yards a game on the ground, 223 through the air. So Tyler Kennedy to the top of the screen, Retzlaff to the bottom of the screen. 2 by 2 goes RCC. Here comes pressure. Irwin got a little bit of time, though, completes it to Giovanni Sanders. Sanders tackled just outside the 30-yard line, making the play for San Bernardino Valley. Claude Dent, another product of both John W. North and Riverside Poly High School. A lot of local talent on both sides, Jeffrey.
And that's what Daniel Algadas has brought to San Bernardino Valley. He's come into the Inland Empire and taken a lot of these kids that normally wouldn't have played at San Bernardino.
Irwin, complete to Retzlaff inside the 30, and Claude Dent will do-si-do him out of bounds at the 25.
You know, talking about Coach Algadas, he's one of those guys. He's a Renaissance man. He's a magician. He can do the Rubik's Cube in like less than a minute. He's a musical guy. He's just one of those guys that can hang out with any crowd. He's one, you know, he was a quarterback guru at Mount Sac, was a backup quarterback at UCLA, just a solid guy, and I can see why he's a dynamic personality to bring guys over to San Bernardino.
Another penalty will be marched off against RCC. And this was an issue. 13 penalties last week, and you know, Tom Kraft has been around a block. This is not his first rodeo, and he told me the issue he had was the penalties, the offensive line. I don't need my offensive linemen getting penalties and starting us in negative situations. 2nd and 13 from the 38 for RCC. Irwin loads it up. Retzlaff again on the slant route. To the 30-yard line, breaks the tackle. Gets to the outside. Bumped out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Making the tackle, Jaden Rowe for San Bernardino Valley. And it'll be 1st and goal for the Tigers.
And there was a big-time missed tackle, but Retzlaff, showing his strength in the weight room there, just spun off and ran off for a great run there.
Under 10 minutes to play first quarter, already 3-0 RCC. Tyler Kennedy split out to the far side. Tight set on the near side. Here's the give. Stumbling down is Cameron Balsley. Balsley, the freshman from Kylene, Texas, Schumacher High School.
You know, and you talked about that running back by committee against El Camino. They used 8 different running backs in that game.
3-yard pickup. It's 2nd and goal from the 2. Irwin. Option. Touchdown. Irwin now, Jeff. He has all 3 rushing touchdowns for RCC. A drive started back at the 40-yard line of the Tigers. They traversed 60 yards to make the score. 2 minutes, 35 seconds on the drive.
And that's why he's so dangerous, is he's strong, he can run, and very physical quarterback.
PAT right through the middle of the uprights to make it a 10-0 lead for RCC. And, you know, we talked about it before the game. Riverside, as long as Tom Kraft is here, has never really had an issue moving the football, but he's a coach, and he really wants to be able to run the ball as much as he wants to throw the ball. And I think it's going to be a contrast of styles tonight. I mean, they've come out and they've thrown the ball. Retzlaff with a couple of nice plays, a nice completion to Sanders. But given the choice, I think Tom Kraft probably more inclined to play ball control than Daniel Algadas. We have something down on the sideline from Pep Fernandez.
Hey guys, I saw an interesting stat not too long ago that 1/8 of all the quarterbacks who are starting in the NFL right now played junior college football. Irwin engineering 10 early points here for RCC. He will give way to Jacob Arledge at some point. And on the flip side for SBVC, we've got Jeremy Musa out of Roosevelt High School in nearby Eastville. So we've got 3 great quarterbacks, and just because they're playing at the JC level, they're still playing at a very high caliber. These are Division I college guys playing here at Wheelock Stadium tonight, but a 10-zip lead for the Tigers, and thanks to Mike Irwin and showing off his legs and through the air.
Aaron Rodgers, Cam Newton, Garrett Minshaw. Who's the 4th? I don't know who the 4th one is. JC quarterbacks in the NFL.
I have no idea who
That's
that
just off the top of my head. So 10-0 RCC with 8:39 to play in the first quarter. Good tidbit, Pep. It's like we're doing a reunion show. Stribling backing up and another touchback. Carson Reed, we mentioned Coach
to be first and 10 for the Wolverines.
Coach Kraft said he was their MVP last week. 10 punts, 5 went inside the 20. They really played the field position game well against Fullerton. So far tonight, the field position game very much in the favor of RCC.
Yeah, and if you have a punter that can be that deadly and spot exactly where he wants, you can really dictate the tempo and the game.
Deonze Nolan Jr. to the near side. Kevon Johnson split out far for San Bernardino Valley. Lone man in the backfield, Darrell Turner Jr. First and 10, line the 25. Double stack formation now. Musa has time. Lofts it over the middle, and it's going to be intercepted. Isaiah Pa'o with the acrobatic interception right in the middle of the field. Second turnover by San Bernardino Valley.
Very unlike Jeremy Musa to throw a couple picks so quickly and really not great passes, but you got to credit the defense of RCC giving him a little rush in there, rushing him to throw the football, and that secondary right there, very athletic, very quick, and very alert.
Pao, the free safety, had 6 tackles last week. He is from Oceanside High School down in San Diego, of course, the alma mater of the late Junior Seau, NFL Hall of Famer. From midfield, Irwin throws the slant. It's complete. Rolandis Whitener makes the catch, and there's a penalty flag. Whitener, the freshman from Arcadia High School.
I believe they're going to say roughing the passer.
So they'll tack that on to the end of the play, and the ball will move all the way to the San Bernardino 27-yard line. So we mentioned a couple of moments ago the field position game, and the field position game very much so far over the first 7 minutes of this game, Jeff, in favor of the Tigers.
Yeah, they've really owned this game so far, and they've put a lot of pressure on Musa to really kind of come out and do his thing. That could hurt a lot on him because football, you got to have confidence right now, and a whole lot not going well for the Wolverines.
Whitener to the near side, Sanders near slot. Ty Kennedy split out to the far side. Laurent in the far slot for RCC. First and 10 from the 27. Looking for Whitener. One-on-one with Claude Dent, incomplete. Little hand fighting going on at the end there. Dent very physical with Whitener. Whitener 165. Dent goes about 160, so evenly matched, and it'll bring up second and 10.
You got to like Irwin going deep to the end zone, to the corner of the end zone. Good pass. First time we've seen him air it out tonight.
We'll also see Daniel Barledge. I'm interested to see Daniel Barledge as well, the young freshman from Valley View for RCC. The Tigers up 10-0. Number 1 team in the nation. Second and 10 from the 27. Evades the pressure. Sanders just dropped it. Incomplete, third and 10. So Giovanni Sanders, who played at Murrieta Mesa last year, came in having 2 touchdowns, averaging nearly 14 yards a catch, drops that one, and it's a third down situation for RCC. Coming into the game, Jeff, RCC was at 30.3% in third down conversions, 10 of 33. They've made 2 today, 1 by penalty. Third and 10. Here comes the pressure. Middle of the field, complete to Sanders. Spins away from the tackle. Sanders weaving to the corner, to the pylon. Touchdown, Tigers. 27-yard hookup, catch and run. Good job for Irwin to spot Sanders open, and then Giovanni did the rest. Bellissima, Jeffrey.
I'll tell you what, he had 2 receivers wide open. He saw the first one and shut it off, but right there, a quick spin move, and then goes outside, and I'll tell you what, there's breakaway speed right there.
PAT. $17-0. So Irwin with his first touchdown pass of the evening at 7:43 of the first quarter. Drive started at midfield after the INT, and RCC They've driven 60 yards, 50 yards, and, well, they got a field goal the first time. So their offense seems to be picking up a little bit of steam, Jeff, here up 17-0 in the first quarter.
And it's nice when you have a mobile quarterback like Irwin. You talked about Arledge. Arledge is one of those guys that if he comes into the ballgame, he's going to stay in the shotgun, and he's going to be sitting in the pocket, and he is a prolific passer, very cerebral. Remember, the son of his high school football coach, Dan Arledge.
Also former line coach under Tom Kraft here at RCC, Daniel Arledge.
Yeah. In fact, his family's more decorated than any family in the world. They have more CIF championships than anyone. His wife was a CIF champ. His son, his dad, I believe the daughter now, too.
Stribbling from the end zone, trying to make something happen, looking for some space outside, and RCC will play him, and he'll be ridden out of bounds. So up to the 23-yard line, about a 25-yard return. As Cole Schroeder brings it out of the end zone for San Bernardino Valley. Now they're going to back it off. Oh, no, it'll be the 23. No flag on that play for once. So what do you say to your team if you're Daniel Algadas right now? You got hit by a couple of punches early in this one.
You just keep throwing the ball. You've got to have confidence in your offense. You can put up 80 points. You can definitely score with anyone.
Here's the give to Turner. Turner dives straight ahead, about the 26-yard line, 3 yards on first down.
Yeah, and Musa's not shy to playing in big games. He played in a Big 8. You're playing against Centennial. You're playing against some really good ball clubs. He's used to this.
2nd and 7. Quick throw, complete to Cade Greeley. Greeley twists forward to about the 33-yard line. It'll be close to a first down. And it will be a first down. They'll move the sticks. Little Big 8 connection there, Eastville Roosevelt to ML King, although Cade Greeley finished his career at Vista Murrieta.
He was also at University of Hawaii with Musa last year.
Option, rolling right. Little bit of a bootleg. Here comes the pressure, and down he goes. Give the sack to Sevilla Vito Logoleo, but applying the pressure from the inside was Alex Navarro Silva. Navarro Silva from Don Lugo High School, Vito Logoleo from St. John Bosco.
But it wasn't just one. There's 5 guys in there at one time. Look at 5 Tigers within the frame.
Loss back to the 24-yard line. 2nd down. Turner looking for some space in the middle. He'll get bent back, goes off the contact, dives to about the 28-yard line.
By number 46 on the tackle, for Riverside, along with number 92 on the stop.
Li'e Mo'unga with the tackle to bring it up 3rd down. Mo'unga, he's from Vista Murrieta. Reminds me a little bit of Sua Cravens. Played at Vista and then later at USC and obviously in the NFL. Big 3rd down situation for San Bernardino Valley. On the season, they are 41% at converting on 3rd down. Converted a 3rd down a little bit earlier. Option, Musa's going to keep. Musa gets to the outside, not enough.
He's ran out of bounds right at about the 32-yard line.
Trailing Musa on the play was Jalen Bowens. He had the 2 block kicks last week. 4th down.
Talking about Sua Cravens, our guy Pep Fernandez. You know, we talk a lot about high school football. He says he is the best high school football player he has ever seen in his life.
I'll tell you a funny story after the kick with that subject in that regard. Falk to kick. He gets it away. Here's the return from Dorso. Dorso trying to get some space. He's up to top speed. He goes down at the 30. He loses the football. San Bernardino say they have it. Unstacking the pile, no indication, and the official says yes, Wolverines football.
That was an incredible hit right there. The first hit stopped him. The second hit dislodged the football, as we see here. I mean, we've seen 2 big-time hits here tonight. One was a penalty, but this one, clean as could be.
Dorso trying to kind of jeté down the sideline, and here comes the first hit. He gets through that. And then Boom coming up from behind to deliver the shot. Is Harold Brooks. Harold Brooks had that first decleat hit. And now the Wolverines back on the field offensively. So the turnover by RCC. 2 turnovers by the Wolverines. That's the first from the Tigers. Line is the 31st and 10. Musa. Time. Over the middle. Greeley one-on-one coverage incomplete.
And that one was nearly picked off as well.
Kobe Fitzgerald had a big game last week for RCC. He's from Eastvale as well, but he played his high school football at Servite. One of the returners from last year. He had 29 tackles in 2018 for RCC. He breaks that one up, and it's 2nd and 10. That's Cade Greeley in the near slot, the tight end for San Bernardino Valley. 2nd and 10 from the 30. Greeley on the slant. And he's down to the 45-yard line, making the tackle Jalen Bowens. Bowens, the sophomore from Tyner Academy, the Texan.
There's a penalty flag on the play.
Check that. He's from Tennessee, not Texas.
Texas, Tennessee.
First down moves the sticks. So perhaps the turnover by the special teams, a little bit of boost to the Wolverines. They trail 17-0 here with 4 minutes or under 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Yep.
Hey, it is not too late, Gazal. This weekend, it's the Carnival Musical being held today through tomorrow at Fairmont Park. Come out and enjoy a day of music, dancing, food, and fun. Tickets are still available. For more information, call 826-2000 and purchase your tickets at eventbrite.com. A great time to take your family out to Fairmont Park and enjoy a great day.
That is one of your favorite events in Riverside.
Because I love food and I love dancing.
That used to be the Mariachi Festival, right?
Yes, they changed the name this year.
So the penalty on RCC, it'll be 1st and 5 from the 49. Mosa, quick throw, complete. Spinning down and upended inside the 25. Ball is complete to Latavian Staples. Staples, the freshman out of Silverado, was averaging 40 yards a touch, so not a bad job there, holding him to just 18 yards on that completion.
Well, we saw a lot of speed on him and strength. Took that hit pretty good.
1st and 10 from the 31. Musa, go route, one-on-one, incomplete. Kylan Ross on the coverage, tangled up with Deonze Nolan Jr.
That's incomplete, intended for number 1.
So 2nd and 10.
On the coverage of
Line is the 31 as we're under 4 minutes to play here in the first quarter. 17-0 RCC. Engineering a nice drive is Jeremy Mosa. Same route. Threw it a little more inside. It was more of a post route on that play. Ross and Nolan matched up again. Nolan also a Silverado High School product. Ross, we mentioned earlier, played his high school ball at Calabasas.
I'll tell you what, though. Musa had not a lot of time to throw that football. He had a guy wide open, but he had to get rid of it quickly. And that was just the timing because of that great defense by the Tigers.
3rd down stand up here for RCC. Can they stop San Bernardino? Turnover started this drive. Here's the give. Running around to the outside is Tyshaun Calhoun Fuller. So Calhoun Fuller, let's see how close he got to the stick. They'll say he got to the 20, so that's a first down. It's an 11-yard pickup on the play. Move the sticks again. And we saw Tyshaun Calhoun Fuller play for a couple of Riverside area teams. Started his career at John W. North, where the Calhoun name is pretty famous. And then he went over to Notre Dame, played for Derek Johnson for a year.
Yeah, there is more Calhouns that have gone through North than you can throw a stick at.
From the 21, it's first down. Musa. Complete over the middle. This is Staples. Staples crossing the field is down at about the 12-yard line. The hardest fought 9 yards he'll ever get, Jeff.
Holy smokes, I'll tell you what. He had to work really hard for that one, but I've been impressed with him and his 2 catches.
So a 9-yard pickup. Call it second and a short 2. Near 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Turner, middle, spins down about the 6-yard line. First down will move the sticks. It'll be first and goal, San Bernardino from the 6-yard line of RCC. So a nice bounce-back drive from the Wolverines, Jeff.
Yeah, Musa's starting to settle in a little bit here.
First and goal from the 6. 3 receivers to the far side of your screen. He'll go to the short side, and it's a touchdown. Complete to Deonze Nolan Jr. So Mosa and San Bernardino Valley are able to capitalize on the turnover. And they put the ball in the end zone for their first score of the game, 17-6, pending the PAT. And Ben Falk on to attempt it. He's a perfect 18 of 18 on the year. Make it 19 for 19.
Yeah, just think of that, Gazelle. That's another stat you can kind of chuckle at. 19 PATs in 2 games. 2+ games.
2 games plus, yeah.
That's incredible.
Another look at the play. Just the corner route, one-on-one coverage. Touchdown to Deonze Nolan Jr. Gets the chest bump from his teammate. Pep Fernandez on the sideline. What do we got?
Hey guys, here we are, 17-7. No surprise that the Wolverines would finally get on the scoreboard. They combined for more than 100 points in this game last season, so you know both teams would be putting some touchdowns up on the scoreboard. Here we are, 17-7 though in the first quarter, as Jeremy Musa, and I think Jeff, you pointed out, finally getting settled in. This is a team that scored 80 points and 51 points in their 2 respective games. We got a ball game, although the defense has been the story early on. Gazal, Jeff, back to you.
Teams are pacing themselves, Jeff. We mentioned last year this team game at the end of the first quarter was 35-21. Playing a little more leisurely pace. I don't know if either Tom Kraft or Daniel Algadas golfs, but a little more of a, what did Mark Twain say, a long walk spoil, that kind of a pace.
That's right, that's right.
So Falk to kick off. Kennedy back deep for RCC, along with Rolandis Whitener. Here's Kennedy. From the 5. Tries to make a move. Now he'll cut back, and he'll get pushed back to the 21, trying to make something happen.
With the kickoff return being out to about the 23-yard line, that's where the Tiger will take over. It'll be first and 10. Tigers!
So first and 10. Let's mark it officially at the 23. It'll be a 17-yard return. And trying to get to the outside, but then cuts back in. He gets away from that tackle and is forced back to the inside. Breaks another tackle before he's finally brought down. Does a good job to get back over the 20.
I don't know if Coach Kraft likes that, but I sure enjoy watching him run around. He is so dynamic. I put up a 90-plus yard touchdown against El Camino.
First and 10 from the 23. Kennedy. And you can tell they're aware of him. He's brought down. Making the play for San Bernardino Valley is Montre Moore. Montre Moore, the sophomore from San Gorgonio, takes down Kennedy.
He's part of that CIF championship team under Ron Geringer 3 seasons ago.
5-yard loss back to the 18-yard line, 2nd and 15 for RCC. Here's the reverse. Here's Laurent. Open field. Oh, what a move. Gets by Pollard. Now he's in the semi-open field up over the 40-yard line. It'll be a first down and more. 23-yard pickup for Dylan Laurent, the sophomore from Los Alamitos High School.
He runs like he was a AAA battery right there. He is small, compact, but quick as lightning.
How about Irwin throwing that initial block? I thought Pollard might have him, but he gets away from him. Pretty good tradition of speed receivers out of Los Al. And a 1st and 10 from the 43 as we come down to a minute to play in this first quarter.
Hey, it's only been 48 minutes in this first quarter.
How about Irwin with the block
on
the
time.
reverse? Irwin now, he's got to run a little bit on his own. He'll get up to the 45-yard line. Not sure if that was a cross-up or just the defense swallowed up the middle of it like that, but Irwin makes something out of nothing. Knows the ball just over the 44.
And you watch Irwin, and I hate to say this, very much like Tim Tebow, very strong on the field, able to run, and throw on the run as well.
Irwin can throw. That's the difference here.
Yeah.
From the 40. Little circle route out of the backfield, complete. Midfield, 45, nice little jitterbug move. And he's finally tackled. Pollard makes the tackle. Ball completed to Jamon McGlory, our buddy from Arlington High. McGlory had a huge play on special teams last week. Forced a 22-yard loss on a fake punt, and McGlory didn't do much pass catching in his days at Arlington. Nice job there to get the first down, and some confusion and flags up front. It'll be a false start on RCC.
Yeah, talking about those running back by committee, 8 backs used against El Camino. McGlory came in late in the second half, made his presence known, but only carried the ball, I think, 2 times. But you and I had seen him several times on the Riverside TV Game of the Week. In fact, we saw a classic where he actually won the game in overtime.
Well, I know. What happened was they're down 1.
That's right.
And Rich Lunsford says, I'm going to go for 2. And McGlory got the 2-point conversion against John W. North, I believe. End of the first quarter, 17-7 RCC against San Bernardino Valley. So I think if you're the Wolverines, the way this game started, the fact that it's 17-7 after 15, you breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief.
Yeah, very much so, considering you throw 2 interceptions and really only down 10 points. That's nothing when you can put up 80.
And now the defense has to stand up a little bit. The special teams made a play for San Bernardino. To be fair to the defense, they've really been playing a short field. There was one drive, there was a 60-yard drive. The other drives for RCC have started in San Bernardino territory. So the defense obviously needs to step up. You know RCC is prolific on offense. They're going to put points on the board.
Yes, they will. And they just have guys at every position too deep.
The great John Zimble hands us the first quarter stats. San Bernardino, 55 passing yards to 124 for Riverside. Total yards in the first half, Riverside 158, San Bernardino Valley 76. We'll flip the field. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 15 for RCC from the 47. 47 of San Bernardino. Here's Irwin. He's got time. It's complete. This is Retzlaff. Retzlaff up to about the 26-yard line.
Yeah, the Wolverines actually played that defense for the secondary, and Retzlaff just kind of came out of nowhere and grabbed it a little high.
Irwin now 10 of 13 through the air for 150 yards. He'll throw again. Here's Ty Kennedy. Kennedy doing the toe tap, and he's ridden out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Making the tackle is Riley Shadow for San Bernardino Valley. He's the Etowanda product. Move the sticks as Kennedy gets enough for the first down. So 1st and 10, call at the 28-yard line. Just underway here in the second quarter, 17-7. Here comes the blitz. Irwin unloads the football. It'll be incomplete. Good job to get rid of it. Mike Estevine bearing down on him, the sophomore out of Lakeland, Florida.
Brings up a 2nd and 10 for the Tigers.
You know, and you look at the time of possession from that first quarter, Riverside had the ball for only 5 minutes and 17 seconds. San Bernardino, 7 minutes and 12. So pretty close.
Irwin with a bobble. Irwin now will just take it himself to the sideline, and we'll get a flag on the play. Surprise, surprise. Ranging to knock him out of bounds was Shaylin Lewis for San Bernardino Valley, and I believe the flag will be for a late hit. Officials talking about it right now. Let's get another look at it. Irwin gets the pressure from Harold Brooks. Dances to the outside, and it was about a step. That's going to get called every time, but you got a feel on the play for Lewis. I mean, it was boom, boom.
In fact, it looked like he was trying to stop himself.
Yeah.
But he couldn't beat inertia.
So move the ball inside the 15. Here's the throw. The ball on the turf. Incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. So the ball marked the 13-yard line. That's where it'll be 2nd and 10. Get a look at Jamon McGlury, sophomore out of Arlington. Special teams standout Tom Kraft, when we talked earlier this week, he kind of singled Jamon out, said McGlury did a fantastic job on coverage for special teams. Touchdown. Ty Kennedy with the reception and the touchdown for RCC. So the Tigers drive down the field again. Battle Station fully operational as the cannon fires yet again.
I think I took some shrapnel right there. But, man, what a move by Kennedy. He is so fun to watch. In fact, I've been telling everybody's asking me about this RCC team, and I said, hey, watch Tyler Kennedy. He is fun to watch. He's electric.
PAT is good. And it'll be 24-7 as Zach Cyrillus, the sophomore from Norco, brings it home. Let's watch this one again. Nearly got a hand on it, did Damon Studstill. And then watch Ty Kennedy. We know he's got speed. How about that? That's all weight room right now. Breaking 2-3 tackles to get to the pylon. He would not be denied. Kennedy with a touchdown, his 3rd receiving touchdown on the season.
He took the Nestea plunge into the end zone.
How about the running back last night in the Utah-USC game getting a fist bump from Reggie Bush as he crosses into the end zone to seal the deal for the Trojans. 24-7 is the score. The Tigers on top of the Wolverines. So the Wolverines had a nice bounce-back drive last time. Let's see if they can respond here. I mean, the offense for RCC just seems to be rolling. Only scored 16 points last week at Fullerton, but we're just into the 2nd quarter, and they already put up 24. Kick fielded at the 10 by Schroeder. Schroeder's got some room over the 30, over the 35, and he's tackled over the 35. Carson Reed makes the tackle for RCC. Talking about helping your own cause. That's like when the pitcher gets a base hit with in a 2-out rally, Jeff.
Yes, it is.
Kicker makes the tackle to the 37-yard line. So good return by Schroeder. 1st and 10, San Bernardino. Well, the defense hasn't been able to stop RCC, so the offense has to stand up a little bit for Daniel Algadas. Interesting look here. Tight set. 1st and 10 from the 37. Mosa to throw. He's got room right in the middle of the field, and it is complete to the RCC side of the field. Tate Pringle makes the reception. Pringle from Lincoln, Nebraska. From the 46 of RCC. Here's the give. And he's gobbled up early. Combining on the hit, A.J. Talafu. Kue Olatoa also in on the hit. Pushed him back close to the 47. RCC, come into the game only 2 games in, giving up less than 30 yards a game on the ground. Most of the throw, pass collected by Nolan. So Nolan gets over the 40 to the 39-yard line. It'll be close to a first down, 3rd and short.
But it's just definitely a different team than we saw the first 2 series from the Wolverines.
Your buddy Lance Pfeiffer, the offensive coordinator.
One of my favorite guys in the world.
3rd and 3, play action. Look at Nolan go up and pluck that one down. Inside the 20-yard line, still fighting for it.
Yeah, Lance Pfeiffer, the son of a great football coach, Hal Pfeiffer.
Ray Estes lined up with Nolan. It was a one-on-one hand fight there.
As he goes up and gets it with 2 hands here. Great, great catch.
So the line of scrimmage now the 19, 1st and 10, flags and whistles. False start whistled on San Bernardino Valley this time. 11:48 to play in the first half, 24-7. RCC came out and really punched San Bernardino, Jeff, 17-0. San Bernardino kind of bounced back. They got a turnover on special teams, converted into a touchdown, but RCC responded. They got the ball back, went right down the field, and put it into the end zone, 24-7.
And that's what Kraft can do. You want to run with us? We'll run with you.
1st and 15 from the 24. Mosa. Fade, incomplete, looking for Latavion Staples. Threw into some double coverage. Dorso was over there for Riverside along with Kue Olatoa. Olatoa from Olu. He's a Costa Mesa kid. Dorso, Citrus Hill. 2nd and 15 for the Wolverines. Turner got some space. Open field. Is he in? He is not. Down at the 1-yard line. So Darrell Turner Jr. with a 23-yard run. Florida kid out of Tampa Bay Tech came in averaging nearly 10 yards a touch. But RCC had bottled them up pretty good. 1st and goal from the 1. Mosa will lob it into the back of the end zone. Schroeder goes high, nearly gets it. Incomplete. Looked like he was going up for a rebound. Incomplete.
Flag and a play.
Sort out the flag. Turner had 16 yards running. So the bad news is, Coach Kraft, you got a penalty. The good news is
they didn't score.
Half a yard, yeah. They'll just do the old do-over.
Exactly.
So Turner in the backfield. Staples split out to the near side. Schroeder now in motion. Musa to Schroeder. Schroeder, touchdown.
Ball taken by number 6, Calhoun, touchdown, Wolverine.
So Cole Schroeder takes the handoff and goes the final yard to make it 24-13, and the offense for San Bernardino Valley looks to be back on track, Jeff Gorham.
Yeah, they do. After those first 2 miscues, they seem to have gotten their rhythm. Everybody, the receivers are all in tune with the quarterback. The running game has been well, and their defense has been pretty solid, other than you're going against the number 1 team in the country.
Ben Falk pumps it through, 24-14. We mentioned, and Pep mentioned at the outset, RCC number 1 in the coaches poll in the state of California, number 1 in the sports information poll in the state of California. They're number 1 in their divisional poll. JC Gridiron, kind of a national publication, online publication that tracks junior college football, has Fullerton number 1 in the nation.
Yes, they do.
We got Fullerton. We got Pep on the sideline.
Well, guys, I think it's about that time. Have I told you the story about the Indio Fire Department? Coming on the heels of this San Bernardino Valley College touchdown, I think it's appropriate that back in 1930, the Indio Fire Department lost to San Bernardino Valley College as the Wolverines were able to score 116 points in that game. That is the all-time record, the modern-day record set by this Wolverines team, came just a couple weeks ago when they scored 80 against Santa Ana College in their season opener. So we know SBBC can score a lot of points, but again, RCC's defense looks pretty good because the Wolverines, when we've seen them the first couple of weeks, they don't go 3 and out. They go down, they march down the field, they score touchdowns. So RCC's defense, they've given up a couple scores, but really in the big scheme of things, it's not 116 points, right? Gazal, Jeff, back to you.
Context is everything, huh?
I want to play the Indio Fire Department, but after that game, they closed the fire department. They canceled all their sports. They canceled everything. In fact, I don't even know if Indio has a fire department ever since that.
Touchback off the kick of Falk, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Well, now San Bernardino, defensively, they have to step up and make a stand. Defensive coordinator for San Bernardino, Ken Lawler, a 15-year relationship with Coach Algadas. He's worked at Mount Sac, also worked at RCC. Defensive coordinator James Cook. I was told they have very similar schemes because they've worked together. They like to start in the, they start with an odd or an even front, but it's flexible. They can go 3-4. They can go 4-2-5. 1st and 10 from the 25. Here's the give. Straight ahead over the 25 to about the 27. And it'll bring up 2nd and 8 to carry on the play Elijah Bennett. So 2nd and 7 from the 28. RCC on top here, 24-14. Throw down the sideline, one-on-one, incomplete. On the coverage, Claude Dent for San Bernardino Valley. Isaiah Leith, the 6'4" freshman, the intended receiver. Leith from Madison, Oregon, Madison High School in Portland, Oregon. I'm going to get up to Portland in December.
Hey, Portland's one of my favorite cities. Just don't go to the food trucks.
Yeah, there's a food truck I want to go to. It's a Laotian food truck.
Be careful. I saw rats the size of dogs, German shepherds running around there.
3rd and 7 from the 28. Big 3rd down. Here's the throw, and it's incomplete. And the defense steps up for San Bernardino. They stop RCC for the first time this evening.
So you're going up to Portland here. I got a little UC Riverside David Patrick story.
Okay.
We're walking to the food trucks. He goes, hey, let's go get some food. So we're walking over there, and he goes, hey, those are cute cats. Why are the cats playing in the road? I said, those aren't cats, Coach. And we walked up on it. He goes, okay, let's go back to our room.
So 4th down. And here's Carson Reed. And we talked about him earlier. Reed, Tom Kraft said he was the MVP of our win over Fullerton. Reed, 10 punts last week, put 5 inside the 20. On the season, averages about 38 yards a kick. The rugby-style kick turns over. Calling for the fair catch. It'll bounce at the 30 and just bounce back. And San Bernardino will have to play from inside the 20-yard line as it's down at about the 17. And Jeremy Musa will get another opportunity for San Bernardino Valley. Musa in the first quarter threw for 55 yards.
And another fabulous punt.
Hey, Scott.
Field position is important, obviously, for a team like RCC when you're going to play the good teams down
Can someone run me a battery?
Number 1 against number 19 as far as the California coaches poll go, and it's a crosstown rivalry of sorts. We'll get into that a little bit here in the second quarter. 1st and 10 officially on the 19.
Anton Bauer?
Musa with the handoff. This is Turner. Turner traverses over the 20 to about the 23, so a good 4-yard pickup on 1st down. So both coaches played pretty coy about the rivalry. Daniel Algadas, it was all respect. He goes, I know all the coaches over there. I work with Coach Kraft at Mount Sac, respect him a great deal. Here's the 2nd down play. Turner again hurdles up to about the 28-yard line. Need to get to the 30 for the 1st down. It'll be close, but they won't move the sticks. He said, my defensive coordinator worked with James Cook, their defensive coordinator. We respect what they do. They're obviously the more established program in the area. Tom Kraft went a step further. He said, there is no rivalry. He said they play in a different division. We don't play them in the playoffs. It's nice that they're across town, but there's no rivalry. We haven't played enough for there to be a rivalry.
Oh, there's a rivalry, Coach. I have to disagree with Coach Kraft, and I would not like to do that to his face, but Yeah, I have to disagree. This is a rivalry.
Option. First down, Musa. Musa rides the contact up to the 36-yard line.
It became a rivalry when you put up 80 and you're playing against the number 1 ranked team in the country.
Right.
That makes it a rivalry.
74th meeting between the two teams. Interesting history as we go back. First game between these two teams was in 1926. First down play here is Turner trying the left side. Turner runs out over the 40-yard line, so about 6 yards on the play there. So Turner finding his rhythm, had only 16 yards in the first half, had that big 23-yard run to set up the touchdown earlier, Jeff.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, as we look at the all-time series, that's a lot of stuff. They played, since 2011? They've only played twice?
Right. The last 2 years.
Yep.
Turner with the stiff arm. He'll be ridden down inside the 40-yard line. Sevilla Vito Logoleo. So no gain on that play. It'll be 3rd and 5. See the clock ticking down to 8 minutes to play here in the first half. A big stand by San Bernardino's defense. Now a 3rd down situation here. A big stand coming up for RCC. Play action. Throw to the outside. One-on-one coverage down the sideline. Estes locked up with Deonze Nolan Jr. incomplete, and the San Bernardino punt team comes out.
And that's why Riverside's so tough. They have athlete for athlete. They can go against the number 1 receiver and run toe-to-toe with them, and that could cause problems for San Bernardino tonight, is that speed on the outside for the Tigers.
I'm wondering if Kevon Johnson may be hurt. We haven't seen a lot of him tonight. Falk with the punt. It'll turn over. Dorso inside the 15. Trying to make something happen. He breaks away from the first wave and is finally tackled. He gets over the 20 to about the 24. It's a pretty good return. Combining on the tackle for San Bernardino Valley, Jose Cordova they're going to get another flag on the play. It's a roughing the kicker penalty. First down for the Wolverines.
And there's another penalty that could really change
Scott,
momentum.
they can come down to me if they would like.
Pep Fernandez, what do you got?
Hey guys, just a couple of minutes ago we saw Jacob Arledge warming up down on the sideline because in the previous 2 games here at RCC, both quarterbacks have played and both played well, Irwin and Barledge. I just asked him right now in passing, hey, Jake, are you getting ready to go in? I see you warming up. He says, I have no clue. So he's not sure yet, but we did see Barledge in the first 2 games. I would not be surprised to see Jacob Barledge, the pride of Valley View High School, at some point in this game. Guys, back up to you.
Good tidbit there, Pep. So San Bernardino keeps the football. A break for them. And again, both coaches, it's early in the year, Jeff. Both coaches, they were belly aching about mistakes. And we got to cut out our mistakes. Every coach always says that.
Of course.
But there's a prime example. A roughing the kicker penalty keeps the drive alive for San Bernardino. From the 45, here's the give to Tyshaun Calhoun Fuller over the 45 to about the 43. 2nd and 8.
Let's see if they can capitalize on that. Like I said, this game is still early, 10-point ball game, and we've heard and seen San Bernardino put up 131 points in 2 games.
Second and 8 from the 43. Musa to throw. Nice, easy rhythm in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. That was Deonze Nolan the second. A little more mustard on that.
I saw that. A lot more.
So we're talking about Daniel Algadas. He is an analytics guy. So he picks a money ball approach. He calls it Astro Ball and applies it to football. In fact, he actually wrote software. And one of the things he calculates is, how in baseball they do spin rates? He calculates the speed at which the ball is released. You can do it with parabolics, right? You can do it with coordinates. And he'll tell Jeremy Mosley, you threw that ball too hard. And he goes, no, I didn't. He goes, no, we measured it. It's 94 miles per hour. That guy, generally, you want to throw it to him about 89 miles per hour.
See, that's just too smart for me right there.
3rd and 8 from the 43. Here's the completion to the 40-yard line, sweeping out over the 30 for the first down, and then bumped out of bounds. Making the tackle is Montre Moore. Check that. Making the tackle is Isaiah Powell, complete to Eric Wells. Eric Wells, the sophomore out of Pacific, makes the catch and run And now all of a sudden San Bernardino seems to have caught some momentum here.
They caught the momentum. I'll tell you what, they score here. It's a different ball game than what we've seen.
RCC ran out to a 17-0 lead. 1st and 10. Line is the 26. Mosa rolling right. Mosa nothing there. He'll just dance out of bounds at about the 20. So a 6-yard pickup on first down. Good. He didn't complete the pass, but a good gain on first down, Jeffrey.
Yeah, great gain. And like I said, ball set at the 20. Now it's go time for these guys.
RCC back on their heels a little bit defensively. The penalty really opened things up, and here's Turner dancing, and he'll run into a convoy of black shirts right at the line of scrimmage, and it'll bring up.
And if you watch if you watch the play clock, it's underneath the scoreboard. Hey, San Bernardino is going in the 20s. They're full throttle here.
3rd and 5, and the whistles and flags.
Yeah, they're averaging about 15 seconds per snap. I'll tell you what, this if it becomes a close game, they might want to use a little bit more clock.
I think they just run their offense, Jeff. I don't think that's something they really do. I think RCC definitely, particularly with a lead, would want to play more ball control style. 3rd and 8. Line is the 24. Here comes pressure. Hit as he throws, incomplete.
Well, the pass is incomplete. That'll bring up a 4th down.
Bearing down on him was Deontay Washington. Big number 99 said, "How do you do?" to Jeremy Musa. And now he's keeping the offense on the field here at 4th and 8 is Algadas. Empty set. Watch Wells to the bottom of your screen. And now timeout, San Bernardino Valley.
Hey, Gazal, did you know Riverside is the city of arts and innovation?
I do know that.
Hey, coming up in a few weeks on October 10th, it's the long night of arts and innovation from 5 to 10 p.m. in downtown Riverside. Think of it as a giant science fair with exhibits covering everything from music, art, science, engineering, and math. Hey, I'll be hosting with Riverside TV, so be sure to check us out on social media the night of, and we hope to see you all in downtown Riverside on October 10th. For more information, visit longnightriverside.com.
Let me get this straight. There'll be a night in Riverside on October 10th, starting at 5 o'clock. It'll be a night of arts, which is great. I love arts.
Yes.
I love the theater. I love painting. I love dancing. I love music. But you're telling me not only are we going to have the arts, we're going to have the innovation as well.
We have arts and innovation. There's going to be music. There's going to be food down there. I'm bringing the Gorham family will be there. Our guy Pep Fernandez will be there. It's going to be a great night in downtown Riverside. I can't wait to talk to the people.
That's wild, wacky stuff, Jeff.
Some wild stuff.
I knew arts. Innovation, I did not know that.
And it's going to be a long night, 5 to 10 p.m.
Big play here, going for it on 4th down. The Valley is 5 of 10 on the season on 4th down conversions. 4th and 8, need to get to the 17. And they'll burn another timeout, will the Wolverines. And now I think they'll just think about kicking it. Oh, actually, RC's, no. Now I'm confused. The official first signaled Wolverines.
Yes, he did.
Then he signaled Tigers. So we'll take another break. But talking about the fact that both coaches deny the rivalry exists, 74th meeting, but to be fair, they've only met, I believe, 13 times since 1992. In fact, last year was the first year they'd played since 2011.
Yes.
But back in the day, in the 70s and 80s, they would sometimes meet twice a year. They would play regular season, and they would play in the playoffs.
Yes, they would. But this is the battle for the bell. I was really hoping we'd see the bell somewhere.
The bell donated by the Atchison, Topeka, Santa Fe Railroad Company in 1948. So here's Falk. Falk will try a 41-yard field goal. Remember, last week Jalen Bowens blocked 2 kicks for RCC. Kick. It's got the distance. And it's good.
The field goal is good.
Flag comes in.
There is a penalty flag on the play.
So it's running into the kicker, not roughing the kicker, and Daniel Algadas will opt to take the points.
As well he should now, just down a touchdown and an extra point.
So with 5:51 to play in the second quarter, it's 24-17. Ben Falk's an interesting study. He was a soccer player at Citrus Hill and had a great junior year. They made a deep run. I think they got to the quarterfinals of the CIF playoffs in soccer his junior year. He was a goalkeeper for the soccer team. And then his senior year, he got hurt, didn't end up playing soccer, but he played on the football team over there in Citrus Hill. You know, does a great job in terms of their football program. And obviously now, I mean, and he doesn't look the part, you know, for a kicker. He's a big guy. He's 6'5", 215 is Falk, and obviously a very powerful leg, and he becomes a factor tonight with those 3 points to make it a one-score game.
Yeah, it's a tough one here. I'll tell you what, Riverside came out and really punched him in the mouth, metaphorically, and then...
Oh, wait a minute. So we were premature.
Wow.
Field goal good. Daniel Algadas is going to take the field goal off the board, and he's going to accept the penalty, and it'll be a 4th and 3, and they're going to go for it.
He is a magician and apparently a gambler as well.
Fourth and 3. Here's the give to Turner, and he's got it. So Turner has found his rhythm now. Clock stops as they reset the chains. So the Wolverines take the 3 off the board, and now they're in business. 1st and 10 from the 15. They'll go right back to Turner. They must have found something. Dances outside, and he's tackled maybe a little bit inside the 15. Alex Navarro Silva stepped up, ran some interference, and Kobe Fitzgerald finished off the hit for RCC. No gain, 2nd and 10. Play action. Mosa into the corner for Greeley. Hand fighting, and a flag comes in. Estes in on the coverage along with Bowens, I believe it was.
Yeah, it was a 2-hand push right before the ball was caught, if we watch on the instant replay.
So RCC gets a break. A penalty also whistled on San Bernardino Valley. And so we'll have the old-fashioned backyard do-over. The penalty's offset. We'll just do it all over again. Were you a big proponent of the do-over as a child, Jeff, in backyard football games?
Of course, I wanted to score all the time.
And nothing changed once you got to high school.
Exactly.
But sorry. Sorry, Carla. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. Calhoun in the far slot. Split out to the near side of Staples, and the ball gets away and whistles. Low snap. Musa couldn't handle it. And San Bernardino Valley called timeout before that ball was snapped. So strategery from Daniel Algadas. He had a field goal, got up running into the kicker penalty, took it off the board, got the first down, and now they're at the 15-yard line. They're going to look at the play, but the timeout was called first. Don't miss out on your opportunity to voice your opinion on what you think Riverside needs in your new police chief. The city is holding a series of public forums where you can give your feedback directly to Riverside City staff. You have 3 dates to participate: September 25th, 26th, and October 3rd. If you can't make it out to one of those meetings, be sure to submit your comments online at Riverside, California, riversideca.gov/RPDChief. That's, again, the website is riversideca.gov/RPDChief.
Very progressive, the big city of Riverside, getting input from everyone.
I'd like to nominate Joe Don Baker from Fletch, Chief Carlin. He's not working right now. Is that Carlin with a K? Back to action. San Bernardino Valley driving. 2nd and 10 from the 15. Musa gives to Turner. Turner down to the 11. 4 more yards for him. 3rd and 6. The guy I feel for is Ben Falk, because he nailed that 41-yard field goal.
A great kick.
Reminded me of June Huang once because of some penalties.
June Huang, my favorite player of all time.
Had to kick like a 38-yard extra point, and he made it.
Yes.
But he didn't get credit for a career long because it was a PAT. It wasn't a field goal.
It was here.
At RCC. 3rd and 6. Musa pump fake. Looks for the corner. Oh, Staples went up and got it. Touchdown, San Bernardino. The officials will confer in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown.
So good call by Algadas.
Staples already had an 80-yard touchdown earlier. He's the Silverado freshman. Was manned up. He just went up and got that one. And now Ben Falk on to try the PAT for San Bernardino. This game was once 24-7, and now it's 24-21. So 14 straight points reeled off by San Bernardino. We got a ball game. Number 1 team in the country, and San Bernardino hanging with them. Here's another look at it. Mosa with a pump fake. Lost to the corner of the end zone. Boom, 1. Did he have control is the question. And I can't really tell from there. He was one-on-one with Estes. Great effort by Staples to go up and get that, though.
And I believe he was inbounds. The question was, like you said, did he have control of the ball?
Right. The foot is definitely down. Did he have control? From that angle, I can't really tell. But the official was closer than I was. They ruled it was a touchdown. 4:20 to play here in the first half. Well, last year, this game, the halftime score was 35-21. We still have enough time to get there. Or sorry, first quarter score. The halftime score was 56-28.
I don't think we're getting there.
Pep Hernandez has something for us on the sideline.
Well, guys, before the game, I had a chance to talk to Daniel Algadas, the head coach for SBVC, and without giving away all his tricks, he did say they had some special plays worked up for RCC tonight, but what he was most concerned about was the injuries. He did not get into the specifics of the injuries, but he did say they were just kind of banged up all over the place, and I said, how banged up? And he said, it couldn't be any worse. So it's important here for SBVC to maybe hang with RCC, because in the second half, if injuries can take their toll, this could be a different game. It could change the complexion if RCC is able to pull away. Guys, back to you.
Falk bangs it deep, and Whitener will just keep it in the end zone. I was wondering about Kevon Johnson, the freshman out of Summit. He's the leading receiver for San Bernardino Valley. I don't think we've seen him tonight, so maybe he's one of those guys banged up. Maybe Pep can take a look and check out on that. So RCC, they now need to respond offensively here. We saw San Bernardino when they went down 24-7, Jeff. They did a little bit of resistance with a touchdown. Now, although RCC, it's a different situation, they still have the lead, but the Wolverines have reeled off 14 straight points.
And I'll tell you what, that's got to do something to your psyche defensively. Like you said, San Bernardino has won this quarter hands down.
Retzlaff to the top of the screen. Irwin has time. Now it's going up. What a play. Jesse Ybarra, the sophomore from Riverside Poly, picks up his second sack of the season, and that was just pure strength and stick-to-itiveness.
Stick-to-itiveness. I love it. You just gave me my new favorite word.
5-yard loss. Check that, 10-yard loss. Here's Barledge into the game. Barledge throwing. Barledge complete to the 20-yard line. Joseph Griffin with the reception. So we get our first look at young Daniel Barledge, the freshman from Valley View, replacing Mike Irwin, who had a pretty good first half. Threw for a couple of touchdowns, ran for a touchdown. And now whistles and flags. It'll be a false start on RCC, and that's something Tom Kraft said he'd like to sort out. Now, you take it with a grain of salt. This is only the third game they've played, and obviously the practice time isn't what it was maybe 10 years ago.
Exactly, and I'll tell you what, Barledge comes into the ballgame, and it really does change things. He is just there to throw the football.
I was watching the game you and Nick did a couple weeks ago. He threw some dimes.
Oh, a great, proficient passer.
Barledge to throw. Kennedy bobbling, comes up with it at the 30. Kennedy off to the races. Here's Kennedy in the open field. He's got a convoy. Kennedy to the house. 85-yard catch and run. Daniel Barledge to Ty Kennedy. Touchdown, Tigers.
And I'll tell you what, you watching that replay, Kennedy bobbled, lost the ball, and it was in mid-form, grabbed it and ran the entire – there was no one going to catch him.
Kennedy was a guy who I know was heavily recruited out of high school. I know Utah was in on him. And I bet you some teams will be on him this year. Already twice he's been named Offensive Player of the Week. 85 yards.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike, Riverside on the kickoff.
So this crowd electrified by Ty Kennedy. PAT is good. It's a 10-point lead. And I know he's not the most popular guy in the zeitgeist right now. That was like an Antonio Brown type of play.
Now watch, he loses the ball.
Just concentration, boom. And then the presence of mind, he sees he's got nobody in front of him. And he's got to escort down the sideline. I said convoy. I meant escort Dylan Laurent.
And a high five right before they get in.
And that's the flag probably, which, that's not a big deal to me.
No.
He's not taunting anybody. He's expressing some spontaneous exuberance, Jeff, like you and I do.
His art's and innovation.
It's true. There's the innovation, and there was the art.
There you
the
go.
high five was the art.
There you go.
The 85-yard reception was the innovation from the mind of Thomas Kraft, the head coach at RCC. And that's why RCC is so hard to play. How disheartening is it for Daniel Algadas and San Bernardino Valley? They strategize. They take 3 points off the board. They get the first down. They get the touchdown. And then 3 plays later, here's Ty Kennedy in the end zone.
It's mind-boggling. It's unfair what he does. Every single game gets these giant runs.
We can't call Tom Kraft the Sith Lord because Matt Logan is already the Sith Lord.
Oh, yes.
The RCC battle station certainly fully operational after just 16 points last week in kind of a rough-and-tumble battle on the road against Fullerton College. The cross-county rivals come in to play for the victory bell, and the offense picking up steam for both teams here in the second quarter.
He could be Peter Cushing. He could be some Grand Moff Tarkin.
Oh, Grand Moff Kraft. That's good, Joe.
Like
That's
that.
very good. Carson Reed to kick it away. Schroeder back deep along with Stribling. 31-yard line. Stribling. Stribling tackled about the 33, and that's where San Bernardino Valley will start it off. Well, here's the test for the defense of RCC, Jeff, because when I spoke with Coach Kraft earlier this week, he said the linebacker saved us last week. He said defensive line didn't play well. Secondary didn't play particularly well. I think the secondary has acquitted themselves well. They've already forced 2 turnovers today.
They have. Tell you, though, that linebacker core, though, is pretty special for Riverside.
Big boys up front, Marcus Wilson, Alex Navarro Silva, Sevilla Vitu Logoleo. Odd front. Line is the 34, 1st and 10. Again, a low snap, miscommunication, and blowing it up is Navarro Silva. And now you got flags all over.
Yeah, those are mistakes you cannot afford if you're Riverside, giving momentum back to San Bernardino Valley. They can score in 2 minutes and 45 seconds. We've seen it. They're going to call a roughing the passer.
Now, Riverside will get the ball in the second half. So it's big for San Bernardino Valley to try to get some points on the board. Now you're down 2 scores. We've seen Falk's leg, so if you can get 3, at least it's a 1-score game going to the locker room. Your defense rests up, and then maybe you can adjust some things to come out in the second half. Obviously, the touchdown is preferable. Long delay here as they're trying to explain the foul or the penalty.
It's a TV game. They get to watch themselves on TV.
We'll have next week's game against Long Beach City College here as well. Jeff and I will. And then we're not back, I believe, until October. A little stretch on the road for RCC. So we had an unsportsmanlike conduct, and we had a personal foul, which I guess they offset, and so they'll play the down. They said it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and 10 from the 34. That's Greeley shuttling. Play action. Musa will take it himself. Musa up to the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd and manageable. It'll be about 3rd and 4. Jeremy Musa, when he's playing for Tommy Leach at Roosevelt High School, set a Riverside County record in 2017, over 4,000 yards and 56 touchdowns. 3rd down play, pitch and catch with Cade Greeley, and Greeley out of bounds for the 1st down over the 45-yard line to the 46. Coverage on the play for RCC was Kue Olatoa. Olatoa, the sophomore from Orange Lutheran.
And that catch made by Greeley. His father, Keith Greeley, played basketball locally here at La Sierra High School, then ended up going to USC, where he was actually a McDonald's All-American in high school, went to SC, played basketball, and then finished up his career at California Baptist University. A great athlete, 6'9", played quarterback in high school, was a big-time basketball player as well.
1st and 10. Here's the give. Sweeping to the outside over midfield into RCC territory. Sweeps Aaron Howard. Our first look at him. Howard, the freshman from Hillcrest. Multi-dimensional guy. Got good speed. Pretty good receiver as well. Played some defense in high school as well.
Yeah, very good high school player.
So call it the 48-yard line. 2nd and 5. Here's the completion to Greeley. Just found the middle of that zone right between 2 RCC defenders. Fitzgerald and Dorso were converging, but Reed, a big enough target to where he could use his body to shield the ball and makes the reception. 15-yard gain.
And took a shot there as well.
Mosa with the little wheel run out of the backfield, incomplete to Darrell Turner Jr., 2nd and 10 upcoming. So getting back to Jeremy Musa, Jeff, an interesting situation. So after that senior season, he graduated early and matriculated at Hawaii in the spring of 2018. Last fall, he actually got into a couple of games. They played him, but I know Hawaii had been recruiting a number of different quarterbacks, and Musa just kind of read the tea leaves and said, you know what, let me restart it, because he got a red shirt last year because he only played in 2 games. So he'll have 3 years of eligibility after this season if he moves on. 2nd and 10. A lot of time. Complete to the 20-yard line. Greeley again with the reception. Dorso in on the hit for RCC, along with Ben Kari, the Australian.
Yeah, Greeley's taking 2 shots and 2 catches here. He takes a big one right here.
On 1st and 10 from the 20, Turner trying to pick his way. Gets past the first wave, but maybe 3 yards. got around Kue Olatoa. And they'll go fast. 3-yard pickup, 2nd and 7.
No timeouts for San Bernardino Valley.
3 receivers at the top of the screen. Throwing in the middle of the field, complete touchdown.
Touchdown, Wolverines.
Alvarado with the reception. Jorge Alvarado, the sophomore from Norco High School, latches onto that one. His 2nd touchdown reception of the season. And a response from the Wolverines with under a minute to play in the first half. Falk for the PAT. And he missed.
Was no good. With 46 seconds to go in the second quarter, the Riverside City College Tigers 31.
So 31-27.
Wolverines 27.
And now Falk will kick it back to RCC. So a big offensive, not as big as last year, but 58 points on the board here in the first half. Pretty good 74th battle for the victory bell, huh, Jeff?
A lot of fun to watch. A lot of offense, that's for sure. A lot of passing through the air. We've had some dynamic runs.
You know, Musa, in addition to being a fabulous quarterback, we've seen 1,000 yards over the first 2 games and just throwing for touchdown after touchdown. He's a 4.0 student as well, which will make him attractive to the schools that are maybe looking at him.
He's got the size. He's got the strength.
And with 3 years of eligibility left, if you're a Division I school, he's attractive because you can bring him in, have him learn your system for a year,
you can.
And then he got 2 years to play. That's the downside with JC transfers is unless there's a connection or a familiarity, it's hard for them to make the adjustment. That extra year makes all the difference. Falk will tee it up. Whitener and Kennedy back deep. Kennedy scoops it up at the 9. Ty Kennedy gets outside at the 30 and ridden out of bounds.
As number 2, Tyler Kennedy.
Tate.
About the 33, 34-yard line.
Daniel Miles forces him out.
Riverside City College Tigers will
So
take
40 seconds in eternity
10.
for RCC. We saw them score pretty quickly earlier on the pitch and catch from Barledge to Ty Kennedy. And Barledge back out there, the freshman from Valley View. It was interesting talking to Tom Kraft. Obviously, his dad, Jacob Barledge, was the offensive line coach at RCC from 2007 to 2015. So he said what Valley View runs is very similar to what RCC runs. That's the familiarity. Here's the dump off. Completion to Elijah Bennett. Bennett puts his shoulder down at the 40, still fighting. And he's finally wrestled down at about the 40-yard line. Making the tackle is Edward Berry for San Bernardino Valley. Berry from Davenport, Florida, sophomore. Clock continues to run. 7-yard pickup on the play. Barledge to throw again. He'll load it up. Long pass down the field and nothing doing there. He'll just burn the down. 3rd down, incompletion. Intended receiver was Dylan Laurent.
Yeah, Coach Kraft unhappy with a route running from his receiver there. Just getting a jaw full. He ran the wrong route at the Bears.
So ball at the 41 of RCC. Daniel Barledge in relief of Mike Irwin. 31-27, RCC with a 4-point lead. Here's the throw. This time Laurent makes the catch, trying to get out of bounds, and he will, but nominal gain up to about the 46. It will be enough for the first down, though.
4 seconds.
So they need to run this play off quick, Jeff, as you see 4 seconds remain on the clock. Here comes pressure. Barledge underneath to Bennett. Bennett into some space, and that's will be the first half expiring. So 30 minutes complete here at Wheelock Stadium. 31-27, RCC over San Bernardino. We got a little bit of a ball game here, Jeff.
I'll tell you what, this has been a classic so far. We've had some great ones on Riverside TV so far this season, but none as good as this one. Tell you what, like I said, it was like a prize fight. First quarter, all Riverside. Second quarter, all San Bernardino.
Let's go down to Pep Fernandez at the half.
Hey guys, I had a chance to talk to Jacob Arledge, the quarterback who just saw action here late in the second quarter, as well as Tyler Kennedy. He's one of those guys where you have to get your popcorn ready. Every time he touches the football, you do not leave Wheelock Stadium because you want to see what Tyler Kennedy's going to do. Jacob Arledge said, hey, just find a way to put the ball in Tyler Kennedy's hands, right? And I asked Tyler Kennedy, were you waiting for that one? Were you excited to pop that one off, that great, amazing touchdown that we just saw in the second quarter? And he said, yup, because he was so elusive on a couple prior plays that you knew he was going to pop one off. That was it. That was a highlight reel play, guys. Back up to you.
For your halftime entertainment, we are pleased to present
31-27 at the half here at Wheelock Stadium. The battle for the victory bell. The 74th all-time meeting between RCC and San Bernardino Valley. The band coming out on the field, as you can see. We'll see a little bit of the band. We'll bring you some messages from the city of Riverside, and then Jeff and I will be back to reset the second half for you on Riverside TV. Thanks for tuning in. Riverside City College 31, San Bernardino Valley 27. We got a second half of football left here, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Here in California, citrus is a part of our lives every day. But what if it all just disappeared? A devastating plant disease called Huanglongbing, or HLB, spread by the Asian citrus psyllid, is fatal for citrus trees, and it might be found in your own backyard. That's why it's important that we all do our part to keep California citrus safe. Don't let California citrus disappear. Visit CaliforniaCitrusThreat.org to learn more.
Got junk too big for the trash can? Then call 311 to schedule a bulky item pickup. Riverside residents get 2 free pickups a year, but you gotta follow 3 simple rules. Bulky items must be curbside by 5:30 a.m. the day of your pickup, light enough for 2 people to lift, and the total volume can't be larger than 8 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot. If you got a lot of junk, check out our bulky item and e-waste drop-off events held several times each year. Bulky item pickup. Call us today and we'll haul it away.
I'm a police officer pilot. I've been with the city for a little over 10 years. I've always loved aviation and I've always loved law enforcement, so to be able to combine the two together, two of the things that I love the most. I've got experience in a background in law enforcement, so to couple that with aviation and fly every day and still do police work, that's why I'm out here. Work day shift 7 to 5. I usually get here a little before 7. We'll get an email on what occurred the previous evening, so I'll go through those. I'll also check temporary flight restrictions, so I'll check those and see if there's any in the area that we can't fly into. And then we'll go out and do a pre-flight on the helicopter. We'll walk around, check everything, make sure everything's functioning properly. And sometimes we're up for patrol. Other times when we're here on the ground, we'll respond to an incident. If a vehicle pursuit or a foot pursuit or something goes out, we'll launch for that. If there's a fire in the river bottom, we'll go up and provide air support for the firemen on the ground. Code enforcement uses us for their green pool flights, so we'll go up and we'll look for green pools. We're assisting a lot of different departments. I'm a 4th generation Riverside resident out of 5 generations now. My family has set roots here back in the 1900s, and I've got a connection to Riverside, so family and friends are here, and it's nice to give back to the community that you've been brought up in. So, if I were to describe my job in 2 words, it would be uniquely awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. I get to fly a helicopter, and do something that I really enjoy doing, at the same time protecting and serving a community that I grew up in. So.
Los Novios is a Mexican market located on Main Street, not far from downtown Riverside. The name means young male bull, which is typically used for its high-quality meat. Alberto Murillo is the owner.
Been in the business for years and years, almost 20 years in the city of Riverside. And
ladies and gentlemen, the RCC Marching Tigers. The RCC band director is James Lucio. Music specialist is Kurt Kilgus. The RCC drum major is Alex Batista, with assistants Kyle Cherry and Ariel McAnulty.
My name's Lovey Jung and I work for the City of Riverside Fire Department. I've been here for about 7 years now and I'm a firefighter paramedic on Engine 1. When I was younger, I actually wanted to be a firefighter, but I ended up getting sidetracked and went and played softball for the Olympic team in 2004 and 2008. And when I retired in 2009, that's when I decided I wanted to switch over to become a firefighter. Usually when I come in, the first thing I do is I check my personal protective equipment, and then I'll also check the medical equipment. Being a paramedic, I have to make sure all my medications are there and that my equipment's working properly so that when we go on a scene to a medical aid, that everything's in working form and that we're professional on scene. If I were to describe my job in one word, it would be adventurous. Every day is different from day to day, depending on the training or the type of calls that we run. You know, some days we might go on more DUIs, or some days we might go on more traffic accidents. So every day that I come to work is going to be completely different from the day before and the next day. I get to work with a group of people that I enjoy working with and having that camaraderie that I missed from being an athlete. But now, being a mom, I want to be that role model for my daughter to, you know, show her you can be independent and you can have a job that you want to work in, whether it's a male-dominated career or not. And I want her to understand that as she grows up.
We need to make sure our seniors are safe with consistent, proper nutrition and healthy foods delivered to their homes.
Elderly patients who do not have proper nutrition have a higher risk of irregular heart rhythms and sepsis.
Riverside's Meals on Wheels program can always use your help. If you can volunteer or donate, you can visit our website and get more information how you can participate, and we thank you.
Do you have unneeded prescription medications and don't know what to do with them? CVS Pharmacy and the Riverside Police Department have a safe and secure drop box located inside the Magnolia Police Station. This free and anonymous service keeps dangerous prescriptions out of the hands of children and abusers while protecting the environment through proper disposal. Most over-the-counter and prescription medications are safe to drop off, however there are some restrictions. Items such as thermometers, inhalers, aerosol cans, ointments, lotions or liquids, and needles and sharps must be disposed of elsewhere. And please, residential clients only. This service is not for businesses to dispose of their medical waste. Help the city of Riverside keep dangerous prescriptions out of the hands of children and abusers by disposing your unneeded drugs in a safe, secure, and environmentally friendly way. You might have noticed new traffic lights popping up around Riverside, and the Public Works Department wants you to see how they work. First of all, you'll notice the new left turn signals consist of 4 lights: a red arrow, a solid yellow arrow, a flashing yellow arrow, and a green arrow. So how does traffic flow work with these new signals? First, we have the left green arrow, which indicates you have permission to turn left, but oncoming traffic must stop. A solid yellow arrow indicates that the light is about to turn red, and you must be prepared to stop, or if you're already in the intersection, complete your turn when safe. A solid red arrow means you must stop. No left-hand turns are allowed. When the signal changes to a flashing yellow arrow, turns are still permitted. However, you must yield to oncoming traffic and pedestrians before proceeding with your turn. These new signals are being introduced nationwide and represent a safer and more efficient way to handle left-turn traffic at busy intersections. The City of Riverside encourages you to learn more about these new traffic signals, and if you have questions, call 311, Riverside's one-stop shop for answers. The City of Riverside has launched Riverside Alert, a mass notification service that allows emergency crews to alert you in the case of an emergency, potential hazard, or safety concern that may directly affect you. When you sign up, you'll receive a message on the voice or text communication method of your choosing. Here's how it works. Begin by creating an account on RiversideAlert.com. Once you've entered your information, you'll be listed to receive alerts. All information you provide will be kept strictly confidential. Riverside Alert allows you to confirm that you've received an alert to prevent the same alert from coming through again. You can also choose to receive notifications about events that may affect you or your loved one's workplace, home, school, and more. Go to RiversideAlert.com and sign up today.
The ones you see on the racks here and stuff are personal, you know, and I take a long time doing it, make sure, you know, there's lathe work and other stuff in there, and it's not just bandsaw cutting out and whatever. These things, it takes 3 or 4 days at a time to make one, and with the train it took probably a week. People say, you know, you can sell these. You go on eBay or whatever and sell them. And no, that'd be like work. I'm retired, you know. When I was in Fleetwood, they had a charity called Rosie's Kids. And they used to do little fundraisers and stuff all year long to get enough money to buy clothing and food and stuff at Christmas time. And so I thought, I suggested, well, maybe you could throw a toy in it too, you know, for the kids. One year we ended up with over 600 toys, and we gained somewhere 5,000 or more. I forget exact figure, but we helped a whole bunch of kids, families and stuff. I've been giving out toys for kids and charities and stuff for years, and I know when I was a kid, I had a stick, you know. I grew up in the Depression, so in Brooklyn. And that was tough, and I can remember that, and I didn't have anything, so I want to make sure that almost any kid I see, I give a toy. I do this in sort of on the side to give to kids and see what their reactions are. And I always tell them this.
Welcome back. Halftime, 31-27. Here's Jeremy Musa throwing it up. He got intercepted. That was the first pass of the game, started with a pick. 2 turnovers early for San Bernardino. This eventually was called back. He was a touchdown on the play, but it was called back. Ultimately, though, RCC did end up getting 3 points out of the turnover. And now Irwin throwing to Retzlaff, setting up the first touchdown drive of the game. Retzlaff with a couple of receptions. He got the ball on the door, and then a couple of plays later, Irwin did the honors himself, his 3rd touchdown on the year. In fact, he had at the time all 3 rushing touchdowns on the season for RCC. A nice little play here by Giovanni Sanders. Breaks away from a shirt tackle into the end zone to make it a 17-0 ball game. Musa, little pitch and catch into the corner of the end zone, hitting Deonze Nolan. And then RCC comes right back. Here's Tyler Kennedy. We know about the speed, but here's some strength for him getting into the end zone, 24-17. But good response by San Bernardino Valley. They give the ball off to Strobling, who gets into the end zone, and then the defense makes a stand. What a catch there by Latavian Staples to make it 24-21, and then you're now about to witness the power of Ty Kennedy off the bobble. He is off to the races with Dylan Laurent as his escort, and it's all of a sudden a 31-21 game. But the last drive of the half for San Bernardino Valley, crossing route touchdown, scored by Jorge Alvarado to make it 31-27. That's where we stand. A lot of offense in the first half, Jeff. 276 yards for San Bernardino Valley, 301 yards for RCC.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, a couple guys really stood out, and we're talking about Retzloff. I thought he made some big plays in the first half for Riverside, and then Cade Greeley really was the staple of consistency. He had 5 catches for 55 yards and really got them propelled in some third down situations.
Yeah, and San Bernardino has played most of the first half without their top wide receiver, Kevon Johnson, so next man up opportunity for the Wolverines, 31-27. The Wolverines have not won in this series since 1996. Now, to be fair, they've only played 8 games since then, but RCC has won all 8 of those games, including last year, 77-35. They led that game at the half, 56-28. Here, though, it's a ball game. I was chatting with athletic director Jim Woldridge, and he goes, "Hey, man, they're bringing it. The Wolverines have come to play tonight."
Yeah, and he sounded like he loved it. In fact, that we got these two teams that are so close geographically, playing some great football.
Athletic directors like rivalries more than coaches do, Jeff. You know that.
Of course they do. Of course. And he's an old basketball coach. He likes high-scoring affairs.
Indeed, he does. Dylan Laurent and Rolandis Whitener back deep. Falk will kick it away for San Bernardino. And we're underway. Number 1 team in the country, the RCC Tigers, according to JC Gridiron. Here's Laurent. Laurent jitterbugging. And he's up to the 14-yard line, and that's where RCC will start. Let's see who they start at quarterback. They were humming with Mike Irvin at quarterback, and I know Tom Kraft wants to play both quarterbacks. Jacob Barledge played very well a couple of weeks ago in the opener against El Camino.
Yeah, in fact, there was 2 different kind of quarterbacks. Like I said, Irwin, more of the running type, RPO type quarterback, and then Barledge, who is just a pocket passer, precision, can throw it on a dime. A fantastic player.
Flag came out on San Bernardino Valley, so Tom Kraft is going to elect to have them re-kick. Last week, we talked about it in the first half. Tom Kraft said, our special teams won it. Our special teams stepped up and our defense stepped up. Wanted to give a shout to special teams coordinator Shandon Silva, who's a special teams coach, and he runs that unit. And they've been solid. They were solid last year, and they were solid, obviously, since he's been the coach. But last year they made a couple of plays, 2 block kicks, and then a big play on a fake punt by Jamon McGlory.
I know we've talked about it, 91-15. That's a pretty darn good clip for Coach Kraft here in 10 years at the helm of the Tigers.
Falk's kick, Whitener. Whitener from the 5. Whitener, the kid from Arcadia, a couple years ago won a playoff game here in the city of Riverside, and they'll get better field position as he twists up to about the 27.
Number 1, Whitener brings it out to the...
So Whitener brings it up to the 27, and that's where RCC will tee it up. And it looks like Irwin back out there. The sophomore from Lake Oswego in Oregon. Started his career up in Eugene and a couple of coaching changes, and here he is playing for Tom Kraft. Irwin looking to throw over the middle. Oh, Giovanni Sanders nearly made an Odell Beckham-type one-handed snag, but couldn't quite hold it. Incomplete. And it's 2nd and 10.
It looks like the tip of the ball hit his hand, but he was right there. Would have been a great catch.
Ty Kennedy split out to the top of the screen. Irwin, though, looking to the near side. He'll fling it to Sanders again. Sanders brings the ball down to at about the 33, then extends the ball over the 35. They'll spot it right at the 35-yard line.
Giovanni Sanders with the reception.
So it'll be 2nd down. Check that, 3rd down. They need to get up to the 39 for the first down. 3rd and a short 4. Irwin throwing. Tipped incomplete. Intended receiver was Isaiah Leaf. On the coverage was Claude Dent. He's a local kid. Played high school ball at both North and Poly.
That's right.
And 4th and 3. In fact, he and Jamon McGlory were on opposite sides of that overtime game that Jamon won back in 2017 as a senior in overtime on a 2-point conversion.
One of the classics we've ever seen.
Right here on Riverside TV.
Yes.
So nice job by the defense. San Bernardino stops RCC, and Carson Reed will kick it away. Jorge Alvarado back deep. Reed kick at the 27-yard line. Couldn't field it cleanly. About a 38-yard kick, no return. So Reed had a 53-yard kick and now a 38-yard kick. And the 27-yard line is where the Wolverines will tee it up. I was joking on Twitter. I said, the Wolverines acquitted themselves better than any Wolverines since Red Dawn.
Red Dawn.
C. Thomas Howell and Patrick Swayze.
Oh, I miss Swayze.
We've got to do the famous Wolverines and famous Tigers later in the broadcast, Jeff. We had fun with that last week. 31-27, a 4-point lead for RCC with 14:04 to play in the third quarter. So first option at offense. Here's the give to Daryl Turner Jr. And Turner has really been a good focal point. He's been keeping RCC honest because you know that San Bernardino is going to throw the ball around, and that's exactly what Tom Kraft told me when we talked earlier this week. But in the first half, Turner Jr., 16 carries for 65 yards. Coming into the game in 2 games, RCC had yielded just 45 yards on the ground until tonight. 2nd and 9, line is the 28. Musa goes down. And that was big for him to hold the football. Making the play from his defensive end position, Sevilla Vito Logoleo.
He kind of gave him just a shove down. Didn't take him down, just pushed him.
3rd and 14.
So 6-yard loss. Mosa in the open field to Schroeder. Schroeder's got the first down. Had some open space in there. Mosa found the open receiver. And the ball up over the 40-yard line. So nice pitch and catch, about an 18-yard pickup there.
And Schroeder, as you can see, he's like a missile. He is running full speed, takes a hit, but gets a few extra yards here.
Freshman from one of Pep Fernandez's favorite high schools, Chaparral out in Temecula. 1st and 10 line is officially the 40. The go and tangled up in coverage, and here comes the flag. Intended receiver was on the play was Nolan, and he got tangled up defensively with Lionel Masivi, and it'll be defensive pass interference, and that'll move the ball into RCC territory. Well, we've talked about it in the first half. Last week, 13 penalties for RCC. Already that's number 12 on this evening. 12 penalties for 105 yards for the Tigers.
Yeah, you cannot give up that many penalties to such a high, potent offense because they can hurt you on any given play, as we've seen tonight.
So Staples split out wide. In the near slot, Schroeder split out to the near side, Deonze Nolan Jr. for San Bernardino Valley. Daryl Turner Jr. now will shuttle out of the backfield. Here comes the rush. He flings it over the middle. What a catch by Schroeder. Reaching through 2 black shirts. Already 2 picks earlier thrown by Musa. And he reaches over Isaiah Powell. Powell, who had one of them, does Schroeder, and he just plucks it away.
And threw it right over the middle into some dangerous territory. But, man, I've been impressed with that young man tonight. He has been phenomenal.
And you got Jalen Bowens barreling down on you. So only 5 yards, but a monumental swing for the Wolverines. This game was once 24-7 in favor of RCC. Here come the Wolverines. 3 receivers to the top of the screen. Greeley is the tight end to the nearest to the screen. And a pitch and catch inside the 25. Pat's completed to Latavian Staples.
Boy, Staples has done a few things tonight. 2, I can recall that 3rd time right now. I don't know how he caught that football, but a great, great way to.
I mean, Musa just pulling the trigger on these. Under 12 minutes to play, third quarter. San Bernardino Valley driving. The give to Turner Jr. Hurdles inside the 20 to the 19 for about 4.
Picks up about 3 yards on the play. Stopped by number 40. Brings up a 2nd and 7 for the Wolverines.
Elton Adigwu with the tackle. He had a sack last week for RCC. 2nd and 7. Musa to throw. Oh, decleated was Schroeder. That was Sean Dorso, the strong safety. Freshman from Citrus Hill High. Separates Schroeder from the ball. So Citrus Hill on chaparral action there.
Tell you what, Schroeder did take a hit, but got right back up.
He's not going to let him know it hurts.
I'll tell him it hurt.
So injury timeout. We'll take a break. You got something you got to read there, Jeff?
I don't. I was just.
Oh, okay.
I could. Hey, it's Carnaval Musical, and it's not too late this weekend. Carnaval Musical is being held through tomorrow at Fairmont Park. Come out and enjoy a day of music, dancing, food, and fun. Tickets are still available. For more information, call 826-2000 and purchase tickets at eventbrite.com. I want to go tomorrow. I'm going to go eat some great food. I'm going to dance a salsa, maybe a merengue, or what was that thing? The forbidden dance.
The lambada.
The lambada, the forbidden dance.
I don't think it was that. I think it was just like Foo Fighters. I think it was forbidden dance.
Is that what it was?
I don't know. 3rd and 7. Line is the 20. Musa to the corner. Incomplete. Staples in coverage against Ray Estes. Estes from East St. Louis High School in East St. Louis, Illinois. Starting corner on that side, locked up with Staples, will bring up a 4th down. And so now that missed extra point plays into it because
it does.
They would be going for the tie right now, but Falk missed one now. I don't blame Falk because, remember, they took a 41-yard field goal of his off the board. This one will be about a 37-yard kick. Falk booms it, and it's good. 31-30. And the Wolverines inch closer. So we mentioned earlier, RCC ran out to a 17-0 and 24-7 lead, and now we're separated by a missed PAT, Jeff.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that will cost you. But, man, what a game we've had here in our two hours so far.
A lot of offense on both sides, but the defenses have acquitted themselves well. Couple of turnovers forced by RCC, then a couple of 3-and-outs forced by San Bernardino Valley, converted into scores, 1 touchdown and 1 field goal in this game, 31-30. So in a game that both coaches kind of coyly denied there was a rivalry, there's a rivalry atmosphere here tonight. The stands are full on both sides. Well, on this side for sure, but a lot of San Bernardino Valley fans have made the trek out on a Saturday night.
Because there's so many people playing this game tonight from both teams that are part of this community.
A lot of local flavor. And Falk ready to kick it away. Dylan Laurent back deep with Ty Kennedy. And Kennedy will bring it out of the end zone. He's exciting. He's electrifying. Right up the middle. He'll cross over the 25 and get brought down there. So Kennedy is tackled by Jaden Hodges. Hodges, a sophomore, makes the tackle, and that's where they'll tee it up. Hodges prepped at Fohi, Fontana. So call it the 28-yard line. 1st and 10 from the 28, Irwin back. Lone setback is Elijah Bennett. That's Bennett in motion. He's got time. Crossing route complete to Dylan Laurent over the 30 to the 32. Tackled by Montre Moore for San Bernardino Valley. So call it the 33 officially. 5-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 5 for RCC. Ghazal Hassan, Jeff Gorham, Pep Fernandez with you, along with our award-winning Riverside TV crew. Irwin on second down. Finds Giovanni Sanders, makes the tackler miss, first down and more. Finally bumped out of bounds near midfield by Jaden Rowe. So about 15 yards on that play, moved the sticks, and Mike Irwin picking up right where he left off in the first half, Jeff. He was 12 of 19 for 157 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he'd also run for a touchdown.
Yeah, he was pretty good at times. I'll tell you what, he was fun to watch when he gets a hole.
Call it the 46. First and 10. Over the middle. Complete to Laurent. What a move to get to the outside. And he's got some space. He cuts back inside just in front of the 20 and is slammed down at the 23-yard line. Obviously, the RCC faithful want a flag, and David Pollard makes the play. But 23 yards for Dylan Laurent. Laurent, the sophomore out of Los Alamitos. Couple of big-time guys out of Los Alamitos. You remember years ago, Brad Melsby over at UCLA. Right. And then Keenan Howery played in the NFL for a little bit. Played at Oregon and then in the NFL. First and 10 from the 23. RCC driving. Irvin, complete. Running out of bounds. That's Jamon McGlory. McGlory up to the 17-yard line. 6-yard pickup on first down. McGlory, the sophomore out of Arlington. He was a running back mostly at Arlington. They ran that single wing, remember, with a lot of unbalanced line his senior year, but he's been a special team standout here. He's been a wide receiver, and now getting a shot at running back tonight.
He's got some great hands.
2nd and 4 line is the 23. Here comes pressure. Whips it to the outside. Sanders, the intended receiver. Bearing down on him was Jaden Rowe. A little love tap from Rowe, and it'll be third down.
Intended for number 11, incomplete.
So RCC, the first time they beat Fullerton last week since 2014 on the road as well. And now they're in a battle here with San Bernardino Valley. 2-by-2 on 3rd and 4. Go to the corner of the end zone. Kennedy, incomplete. On the coverage was Riley Shadow for San Bernardino Valley. It'll bring up 4th down. And looks like we'll get a look at Zach Cyrillus.
I'll tell you what, the official on that last play looked like he was going to throw the flag, but he was so far out of bounds he decided not to.
Cyrillus with a 30-yard field goal earlier. Here's the kick, and it's wide.
Kicking wide to the right with 8:54 to go in the third quarter.
So a missed PAT on the San Bernardino side and a missed field goal. About a 35-yard kick missed by Cyrillus.
So it could come down to special teams, as we talked about. Last week they won it for the Tigers. This week, it's up in the air.
So the ball will come out to the 20 for the Wolverines. Wolverines already have put up 3 points here in the second half. So 1st and 10 from the 20. Jeremy Musa back out on the field, and he seems to have found his rhythm, Jeff. First down, deflection. Intercepted. Sean Durso went up and got the deflection. Durso, the freshman from Citrus Hill, 3rd pick for Jeremy Musa. That wasn't his fault. That was deflected.
That was deflected, but I'll tell you what, Durso having himself a great third quarter here. We've mentioned him a couple times, but he had the eyeballs on it, went up and grabbed it. Great play.
I think Bowens might have made the play on that. Bowens might have been the one that deflected that. So Jalen Bowens, who blocked 2 kicks in the win over Fullerton, and it's just been outstanding. Had 31 tackles, was the 10th leading tackler last year, and RCC back on the offense. 1st and 10 from the 37. Big play. Here's the give. And driving up to the 31-yard line for a 6-yard gain for the Tigers is the freshman Cameron Balsley. Balsley, from Kylene, Texas, a freshman out of Schumacher, was the leading rusher coming in for RCC with just 43 yards. In the first half, he had 1 carry for 3 yards. It's interesting because talking to Tom Kraft, I figured once RCC got the lead, they're still going to play their offense. You would think they would try to play a little more ball control. Arledge will load it up. Down the field, he's got Kennedy. Touchdown! Third touchdown for Kennedy. He's making the motion like Russell Crowe in Gladiator.
Yes,
Are you not entertained?
And a great pass from Arledge.
The cannon will fire yet again. The turnover converted into points by young Daniel Arledge. And now here's Cyrillus. He can atone for that missed field goal and give the Tigers an 8-point lead, and he clanks it off the crossbar. So now there's some testiness down on the field. And there's a flag in on the play. Remember, already we've seen 19 penalties in this one. 7 on San Bernardino Valley, 12 on the Tigers. And the officials are caucusing. Well, look at what a play. Look at the separation. The ball a little bit underthrown, but enough space for Kennedy to adjust. And he slides into the end zone for his 3rd trip to pay dirt. And like a gladiator in the Coliseum, raises his arms in victory. Are you not entertained? So it'll be offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. (37-30) RCC and San Bernardino Valley. And remember, last year these teams met, Jeff, for the first time since 2011, and it was a 77-35 win for RCC. San Bernardino was plucky, but they just couldn't hang with the Tigers, who were on their way to another conference title. What a run of success Tom Kraft has had here at RCC. The only thing he hasn't done is gotten the state title. He won 3 of those when he was at Palomar from 83 to 91, and again from 90, I think it was 96 to 98. So here's the kickoff. Fielded by Kobe Sterbling. And good coverage on the play by RCC. Tackle made by Zach Barola.
Yeah, Zach Barola really took care of business there, didn't let him out of his sight. A great tackle there.
Now, part of the reason that RCC got that early lead was field position was very advantageous for them. And so it's kind of deja vu all over again. They get the ball at the 37 and punch it in, and now all of a sudden San Bernardino has to go 88 yards to even this ball game. The missed PAT now, it's even Steven. Inside run by Turner, and he'll be pushed back at about the 15. They'll probably they mark him up over the 15. He'll get about 3 on that.
Ball taken by number 5.
So Turner ran headlong into Caleb Fitzgerald for RCC. So they'll call it 2nd and 6. Here's Turner again. Straight ahead. Breaks 1 tackle. He's over the 20 to the 21. That's where they'll mark it. Kobe Fitzgerald had him wrapped up, and he just kept driving. He'll get 5, which will be close to a first down. They need the 22 for the first down to the Wolverines of San Bernardino Valley. Wow, so they got
they did give it to him.
Favorable spot, and San Bernardino Valley moves the sticks. Three receivers split out to the far side. He'll look to the near side, though, one-on-one with Nolan, and there'll be a PI. Nolan tangled up with Ray Estes. Let's see what the penalty will be. Surprise, surprise, another flag. Let's get another look at it, Jeff. Kind of both guys trying to hook the arm.
Both look like it could have gone either way, but
they'll march it off against the defense. And, you know, when you're a defender in that position, when you get hooked, you really can't retaliate because the ref's never going to call it your way.
Nope.
You got to just play the ball at that point. It's easier said than done, obviously. But both men have an equal right to the football. 1st and 10 to the 38, Mosa rolling. Throwing. Deflected. Incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
I think that was Staples out there he was trying to get the ball to. 2nd and 10. We got a good one here at Wheelock Stadium. RCC, the #1 team in both polls, and also the national poll by JC Gridiron. 2nd and 10. Jailbreak. Pitches it ahead for Turner, incomplete. 3rd down.
Was that a no look?
Looked like Jalen Bowen. Yeah, little John Stockton there.
Yes.
Little Jalen Bowens was bearing down on Musa, and he just saw out of the corner of his eye Daryl Turner with a patch of green and tried to just flick him the football. Third and 10 from the 38 for San Bernardino. Nolan to the near side, Staples on the trips to the far side. Here's Nolan on the slant, incomplete coverage by Estes. 4th down. So a good stand by the RCC defense. Two returners back for RCC. Laurent and Durso are both back. And a short kick. Kick will roll dead at about the 42. So just a 20-yard kick off the foot of Ben Falk.
Yeah, it looked like it went off the side of his foot there. And didn't get a favorable bounce as well.
So 6.5 to play here in the 3rd quarter. It's been a good one. RCC, though, now with an opportunity to put some space between them and get a little bit of breathing room. When you're the favorite the way RCC is, the one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to let the upstart hang around.
No, you do not. And I tell you what, that gives them opportunities that you don't want with a very prolific offense.
Barledge calling signals. Empty set. Barledge throwing it out. It's complete. And into the open field. Down the sideline. Touchdown RCC. Elijah Bennett. A trip to pay dirt. Flag on the play. So let's see what that is.
Yeah, I believe they're going to call a holding. On Isaiah Leith, I believe.
So the ball started on the 42-yard line on the RCC side of the field. They'll bring the ball to the point of the foul. So no touchdown. They'll mark it down to the 18. So officially 40 yards on the play. There's the foul. Jeff is pointing it out right there. Top or middle of your screen. So they mark it off from the point of the foul. It'll be 15 yards, or 10 yards, excuse me, back to the 28. First down from the 28. Over the middle. Complete. Anthony Rodriguez, the tight end, his first touchdown on the game. Touchdown RCC.
And if you watch Barledge's eyesight, he knew exactly where he was throwing that football.
I remember talking to Daniel Barledge, the head coach over at Valley View. His son started for him as a freshman. PAT upcoming from Cyrillus.
Played in the state championship game.
Through the uprights, 44-30. And we're joking around because obviously being the coach's son while Coach Barledge was here at RCC, another look at it, and just right over the middle, boom, the quick hitter to the tight end, and Anthony Rodriguez, 6'3", 240-pound sophomore, Shadow Mountain High in Phoenix, Arizona. And Coach Barledge was telling me when he was working for Coach Kraft that young Danny liked to hang around, young Jacob liked to hang around the linemen because Coach Barledge was the line coach. So I was asking him, he's a freshman. He comes in, all these juniors and seniors. Jacob grew up goofing around with the linemen, so he kind of knows how the hierarchy works. So all the linemen, he'll get them laughing, and obviously they won a championship.
Well, obviously the linemen are taking care of him because he's been great tonight. Throwing the football, has had plenty of time to see his reads.
So 44-30, a time for a response from San Bernardino. From the 5-yard line, Stribling is going to be swung down at about the 18. So good coverage again. The special teams has been very good for RCC tonight. There was a turnover forced by San Bernardino Valley, but the kicking game and the coverage game for the Tigers, again, very impressive.
Yeah, very much. Field position has been great just because, like you said, they've done their job. The guys that they say stand around and practice and kick the ball, drink Gatorade.
It's, you're a basketball guy, so sometimes when you have another team that's really good, you have a scorer, you obviously got to defend him, but part of the reason also you make him work on defense.
Yes.
And this is kind of what it is. Musa is a great quarterback, but if he's got to go 85 yards every time, it's a little more higher degree of difficulty. Turner on first down. Turner turns the corner up to about the 23. Second down coming up. Daryl Turner Jr. was an all-conference selection his freshman year in 2017. He missed last year with an injury. Coming into action tonight, he was averaging nearly 10 yards a carry, had 4 touchdowns. And I was talking to Coach Daniel Algadas, and he was telling me, the way they run their offense, they like guys to be versatile. A guy like Turner who can go out to the slot or split out. You don't have to make a personnel change.
No, you don't.
Just makes your offense that much more efficient. Line is the 22. It's 2nd and 6. Musa steps up. He'll lob it down the sideline. Intended receiver was Staples. Estes was in coverage. He got help over the top from Sean Durso. 3rd and 6.
Good looking throw, just a little overthrown, but able to get inside that pocket, run up the middle, throw on the run.
Musa, we mentioned it in the open, Jeff, so prolific, over 1,000 yards over the first 2 games. 1,000 yards and 11 touchdowns in 2 games.
That's better than video game numbers.
The offense from the mind of Daniel Algadas. Here's a 3rd and 6 play. Musa loses the ball. Here's the pressure coming from the outside. Elton Adigwu makes the big play on defense. He had a sack last week, and he makes a play there on the turnover. Musa trying to use the ground to gain his balance, but left the football on the carpet.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, he was, like you said, was falling down, used the ball to kind of keep him up.
Look at Adigwu. He went down and then just stayed with it. Musa lost the ball, and look what I found. And we mentioned the field position, so now again the short field for RCC. So Barledge back out at quarterback. Kennedy to the top of your screen, Laurent in the far slot. To the bottom of your screen, Retzlaff in the near slot, Giovanni Sanders. Arledge, quarterback draw. Puts the shoulder down, still fighting. Is he in? They say he's down at the 1. So, Jacob Arledge, of course, not Daniel. Daniel Arledge is his dad, the head coach at Valley View High, who from 2007 to 2015 was the line coach here at RCC. I don't know if that was a design play or just he had an option once he saw who was covered. And look at him fight here. From this angle, looks like he got in. First and goal, touchdown. So Bartlett denied the first time, would not be denied that time as he sneaks it in. And 50 on the board for the Tigers pending the PAT. So this game, you know, the old line from Anchorman, that escalated quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
It was 31-30. And then all of a sudden, RCC looked like they just turned it on.
Great defensive stops, recoveries, and the young Jacob Arledge.
Ricardo Chavez, the PAT, and it's 51-30. So 4:10 to play in the third quarter. It is an eternity left. Remember, it was a 24-7 game in the first. So with 13:37 to play in the first half, it was 24-7, and then by the time the half ended, it was a 4-point game. So San Bernardino can turn it on the offense, but I believe the defense has adjusted for RCC. Defensive coordinator for RCC is James Cook. And they're just really getting at Jeremy Musa. They're they're disguising their alignment up front. They're bringing some different guys into the game they maybe haven't seen a lot of on film.
And once again, the great kicking game. San Bernardino's going to be forced, for the most part, probably to go another 80-plus yards again.
So Reed on to kick. Here's the return. Up to the 21-yard line.
He brings it out to about the 19-yard.
Ebony Williams with the return. He is from Redlands East Valley. We're talking about Rich Lunsford earlier.
Yeah, Redlands East Valley right now 0-4. The first time ever, I believe.
He's had a good couple years there, though. He's still a gum guy. You talk to Coach Lunsford at all?
I do talk to Coach Lunsford. He is a gum guy still.
Still got that big pack of chewing gum before every game? Oh, a little miscommunication. Musa was waiting for somebody to take the handoff. Nobody did. And down he goes to the 20 for a 1-yard loss. Could have been worse. Alex Navarro Silva in on the hit. Got help from Caleb Fitzgerald up front for RCC. 2nd and 11 from the 20 for San Bernardino Valley. They have to find their adjustment now. Musa to throw. Flings to the near side. Turner with a one-handed catch. Pushed out of bounds just at the 20-yard line. Good play on defense from Lionel Masivi.
Yeah, great catch, but Masivi right there. One thing San Bernardino has not been able to do is get outside on RCC tonight, and RCC has done whatever they can to get outside, and they've made some big-time plays tonight.
And they knew that, and both James Cook and Tom Kraft, they knew that. They were just going to defend the outsides against Musa. Pitch and catch, incomplete. Nolan was the intended receiver. Coverage on the play for RCC coming from Joey Mahop. He's the freshman out of Wansagan, Texas.
I've never even heard of Wansega, Texas.
Texan coming to RCC, and it's fourth down.
Number 3.
So Laurent and Durso drop back. They're at the 45-yard line of the Tigers. Falk, another short kick. It'll bounce just to the left of the painted Tiger visage at midfield and is downed in San Bernardino Valley territory at about the 48-yard line.
Boy, the Tiger defense has stymied the Wolverines this entire quarter. They've got nothing out of this. They've played great football. And Musa, like you said, has just not been himself because he's been rushed and unable to make those phenomenal passes he did earlier in this game.
Remember, it was San Bernardino Valley. They came out and they stopped RCC on the first drive of the second half, and they went down the field, got a field goal to make it 31-30. Since then, it's been all Tigers. 20 straight points ripped off by RCC. They've also missed a field goal on a PAT in the process. Timeout called by RCC with 3:07 to play here in the third quarter. So Pep, I guess, is having some audio issues, which is why we haven't heard from him. But it was nice to get the band back together, Jeffrey.
It's always good having us all together. I see Pep all the time, but I'll tell you what, I don't get to see you quite as often. So I am happy to be with both you guys as we look down at Pep. He's giving us the sign. But hey, you know what it is? October 10th, 2019, from 5 to 11 p.m.
We'll see a lot of you and Pep.
Pep and I will be at the Long Night of Arts and Innovation. It is, I'll tell you what, it is a great night. Think of it as a giant science fair with exhibits covering everything from music, art, science, engineering, and math. We will be hosting, so I hope you'll check it out on social media the night of, and we hope to see you all in downtown Riverside October 10th. For more information, visit longnightriverside.com.
So officially marked at the 49-yard line of San Bernardino. Barledge in at quarterback, 1st and 10. Barledge back, step up, throw to the near side, complete to Retzlaff. Retzlaff breaks Claude Dent's tackle and then finally flung down by Lewis.
The one thing with Barledge, if you watch him, he never looks flustered. He just stands there, gets his progressions, makes the right decision, a lot like a coach's kid. Hey, there he is.
I mentioned it earlier, but Valley View runs a variation of Tom Kraft's system. It makes sense because Daniel Barledge, Jacob's dad, was a line coach here at RCC for about 8 seasons. So Tom Kraft was saying, it's not the exact same thing, but a lot of the concepts are familiar. So it's less teaching. He kind of jumped right in and was able to understand what he needed to have done. 2nd and 6. Line is the 45 after a 4-yard gain. Barledge to throw. He'll fling it out to the far side. It's complete, and it'll be up to the 41-yard line, close to a first down. Completion to Jalen Young. Young, 5'10", 200-pound freshman from RCC.
Third and 2.
Young from Perry High School in the Chandler, Arizona area. 3rd and 2. Here's the give. Looks like it should be a first down. Another carry by Jalen Young. From where the line judge is standing, and they haven't moved the chains yet. Now they'll move the chains. So line is the 38, 1st and 10. The Tigers have reeled off 20 straight points here in the third quarter. They lead 51-30, 90 seconds to play till the end of the stanza. Bennett, they'll throw the little screen out to him at the 40-yard line, little toe tap, and then Dent will ride him down. Claude Dent will get some help from David Pollard on the play. So gain up to the 35-yard line, 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7. So Irwin kind of got the offense going again, and Barledge has continued the barrage. Barledge steps up, middle of the field. What a catch by Sanders. Instead, that was Elijah Bennett. Bennett keeps his concentration, reels it in, and then stumbles for a couple of additional yards. Up to the 22. Sticks move up, making it 1st and 10 again for RCC.
There are so many weapons for this RCC offense.
Barledge back. Here comes pressure over the middle. Jaden Rowe, hand fighting. Did he get it? He did. He picked it off. Jaden Rowe takes it away from Giovanni Sanders. Rowe, a graduate of Notre Dame High School, played his home games in high school here at this very stadium, so he's familiar. In fact, in the playoffs last year against San Jacinto, he matched up with Caleb Harvey, who, incidentally enough, is on RCC, right around that same location on the field, had a very acrobatic interception. Does it again here. Arledge over the middle, and just Jaden Rowe playing ball hawk takes it away from Sanders. So 1st and 10 for San Bernardino Valley at the 3-yard line. They have 97 yards to traverse. Ticking down to the end of the third quarter here at Wheelock Stadium. A big stand, though, here in the third stanza by RCC on both sides of the football. Musa out of the end zone will throw over the middle, complete, and then upended at about the 25-yard line, saving a touchdown. Good play by Isaiah Powell making the play. Tate Pringle with the reception for San Bernardino Valley. It'll be up to the 27, so a 24-yard pickup, 1st and 10. Here's Pringle shuttling. Here's the give to Turner, left side. Good block downfield by Pringle, but he'll be bumped out of bounds, making the play Ray Estes. But about 5 yards on the run, and that's the end of the third quarter. It'll be 2nd and 5 when we resume. RCC 51, San Bernardino Valley 30, the 74th all-time battle for the Victory Bell. The Victory Bell, Jeff, donated in 1948 by the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railroad Company for these two teams. So one team would get to keep the bell. RCC has had it since 1996. That's great for RCC. It sounds worse than it is. The teams have only played, this is the 9th game since 1996.
So is it, my curiosity, is it somewhere in a case?
That's what we're wondering, because we were trying to find it. We were trying to see, is it on the sideline? Do they have it? Do they ring it?
Yeah, I'm telling you, they should have brought it out, put it at the 50-yard line. Last night we covered the holy war between Aquinas.
I saw a picture of you with the shield.
And I had to go over and ask Coach Brusick. I said, hey, can I borrow the shield? And he looked at me, and he said, for you, Jeff, for 2 minutes.
See, because you're a nice guy. People like you.
No. Are you kidding me? I'm always hearing my kids complain about me. I guess I'm kind of likable. Not as likable as you, though, Gazal.
Oh, I'm not likable at all. What are you talking about?
You're the nicest guy in the world. In fact, Pep Fernandez knows about the bell, and he says if he can ever get back on the air, he'll tell us all about it.
We'll get him on the air. I'm confident. So line is the 34 at 2nd and 3. Here's the give to Turner. Turner closing in on 100 yards. Up over the 35 to about the 37-yard line. So it'll be close to a first down. Needed to get 30 to the 38 to move the sticks, and they will move the sticks.
Yeah, he says he knows its secret location.
Okay, good. Well, there we go. I love the recon.
Oh, that Pep Fernandez, he knows everything.
Next step for you, me, and Pep, we got to make a heist movie. Musa had time, now he doesn't. Throws it down the sideline, gets rid of it, just burns the down to make it 2nd and 10. Alex Navarro Silva has played well tonight, the freshman from Don Lugo High School.
Yeah, he's been special.
And he's played inside, he's played outside. He's been bringing pressure from different locations. I think that's kind of what has Jeremy Musa a little bit off step. James Cook mixing things up, he being the defensive coordinator for RCC. 2nd and 10 for San Bernardino Valley from the 38-yard line. Musa looking downfield, and he'll just look to his safety valve, which is Darrell Turner Jr. He'll take a little bit of a pop on the play. Victor Terry came over and gave him a little tap. 3rd down.
And the one thing about San Bernardino Valley is they're going to throw no matter what the score is. They are going to continue to do what they do. Coach Algadas wants to improve, and this is how you do it. You're playing against the number 1 ranked team in the nation. You're going to continue to do what you like to do, is throw the football and work on your offense.
Coach Algadas and Coach. Oh, get to that after this play. 3rd and 10. Here's Musa wide open in the middle of the field. Schroeder to the 30-yard line. They'll move the sticks up. 32-yard completion to Cole Schroeder. Running the crossing route. And sometimes when you have pressure, you just need a little bit of time to identify the route. And Schroeder moves from one side of the field to the other and makes the reception.
He has been so good all game long. He has made big play after big play. Got great hands.
So getting back to the point I was trying to make is that Coach Kraft and Coach Algadas were both on a staff together at Mount Sac in 2009, the year before Coach Kraft took the RCC job. And Coach Algadas told me, I've had a lot of good people that I've learned from over the years. Obviously, he mentioned Coach Kraft. He mentioned Steve Masigian at Ventura College. He played for Coach Durrell, and obviously Mount Sac. He's got a history at Mount Sac, but an interesting story when Coach Algadas was an assistant at Mount Sac in 2012. He was the quarterback's coach, and one of his tutees was Nick Montana, the son of Joe Montana.
That's
and Nick
right.
threw for 4,600 yards and 36 touchdowns. And he got a chance to talk with Joe about the passing game. And obviously Montana was Bill Walsh's quarterback when Bill Walsh was implementing the West Coast offense. So, Algadas is a really heady guy. And the funny thing is, when we were talking about it, he called him Mr. Montana.
He did?
I said, Coach, you can call him Joe. I remember Joe from, a couple of Super Bowls.
That's that guy, Joe, Mr. Montana. That's right. I think his son played. Where did he play?
He played Oaks Christian.
Oaks Christian.
Yeah, he started De La Salle, transferred to Oaks Christian, and then ultimately after playing JC at Mount Sac, he ended up at Tulane. Played some college football at Tulane. Nick Montana. 1st and 10, line is the 29 for San Bernardino Valley. 4th quarter about to begin. Down the field, incomplete. Intended receiver on the play, Eric Wells. Wells has been pretty good.
He had a stop in the first half, deep in the end zone and right there again.
Instead, I was incorrect. That was Dante Rice. Rice, a freshman. First look at him. We had Wells caught a couple of passes earlier. Rice from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. From the 29, it's 2nd and 10. Stepping up into the rush, thrown to the outside, incomplete. That was Wells. Wells was covered on that play by Lionel Masivi for RCC, 3rd and 10. Two things for RCC. They wanted to get pressure on Musa, get the ball out of his hands, and then they were fairly confident they could mix up the coverages and cover the outside against San Bernardino Valley. They've done a pretty good job, I felt, tonight. Throw to the outside. Here's Turner. Will take it and step out at the 24-yard line.
Yeah, there's going to be a holding on that play. It's going to come back. No, personal foul.
So roughing the passer again, extending the drive for San Bernardino Valley.
Yeah, I didn't see any roughing the passer, but I could be wrong. And I am wrong many, many times.
Line is the 13. It's 1st and 10 for the Wolverines. Musa to the corner, incomplete.
He hit Pep Fernandez in the foot.
He was looking for Nolan.
Looking for Nolan, hit a Fernandez.
Second and 10. Line is the 13 for Jeremy Musa. Bootleg. And down he goes. Kobe Fitzgerald making the play. He had a big game last week, and he steps up again gets the quarterback sacked to make it a 3rd down.
I mean, you look at this RCC team, and everybody is fast. Everybody. I mean, he comes out of nowhere to get Musa.
Brings up a 3rd and 14.
So they can get a 1st down at about the 2. And down he goes again. The real deal, Zechariah Holyfield, makes the play for RCC, the sophomore out of Villa Park. He was one of the guys Coach Kraft told me I should watch. And Holyfield gets flung down to make it 4th down, man down on the field for San Bernardino Valley.
I hope that young man's okay. He's not moving.
Looks like Tyrone Mitaina from Citrus Valley High. Got a chance to watch him play last year in the playoffs. Take a break here at 12:06. 51-30 in favor of RCC. Injury timeout on the field. Be back here next week, Jeff, you and I, to cover RCC and Long Beach City College. And then after that, 2 more games. RCC, for those who don't know, this week, JC Gridiron, after their win over Fullerton, they were elevated to #1 in the country. They're also #1 in both the sports information and coaches polls. In the coaches poll, also, San Bernardino crept into the top 20 at number 19. In the Sports Information Association poll that's run by junior college SIDs, state of California, they're number 12. So Daniel Algadas has got the program going in the right direction. Tom Kraft, obviously, and the Tigers, I mean, they've been just a juggernaut since he signed up in 2010. 8 straight conference championships, right? Or 8, not 8 straight, but they've won 8.
They have won 6 regional championships in a row and 6 conference championships in a row.
And before he got here, I think the 2 seasons before Coach Kraft took the job in 2010, RCC had been something like 4-16 in those 2 years. Yeah, Jeff, it's interesting because the city of Riverside is asking for public input on their new police chief. So don't miss out on your opportunity to voice your opinion on what you think Riverside needs in your new police chief. The city holding a series of public forums where you can give your feedback directly to Riverside's city staff. You have 3 dates to participate still on the calendar: September 25th, September 26th, and October 3rd. If you can't make it out to one of the meetings, be sure to submit comments online at riversideca.gov/RPD-chief. So the website's right up there on the screen, and an opportunity for some of the residents of Riverside to voice their opinion on the city. If you know somebody qualified, why not?
I'll tell you what, and it's very progressive. I think it's great that the city is taking input on their next police chief. I'll tell you what, they're going to have a new mayor as well this year. As the mayor is stepping down.
Any chance you'll throw your hat into the ring?
You know, if I lived in Riverside, if I still lived here in the Riverside, I would have to get an exploratory committee going. I'd have to have you and Pep run my campaign. You think Pep would want to be my vice or deputy mayor?
He's a county employee, right? Is he allowed to endorse anybody?
Oh, I hope so. He better endorse me. I'm his closest buddy, his pal, his confidant. But no, if I lived in Riverside, I would run for mayor.
You know, the guy, and this is kind of an unfortunate. We want to make light of the situation. No. Player down on the field, they are bringing the ambulance is on the field, so I don't want to alarm anybody. But the training staff is down on the field, and obviously it's a bad situation, but it's good in the sense of the hospital's right across the street, so they'll be able to attend to him and get him to the hospital quickly here. And, you know, obviously you hate to see anything like this happen, any kind of an injury like this, because then it becomes kind of a big story, because there's a focus on injuries, particularly concussions, in the sport of football. So obviously, just so you know, we don't have sound on the field. Otherwise, Pep obviously would be giving us updates on what's going on. He is standing off to the side on the end zone, and we're having communication issues with our field mic. So sadly, we won't be able to get any details, and you know Pep would have them.
He knows everything. A guy can figure out what's going on at any given time, anywhere, any place.
Fun to work with both yourself and Pep again.
We've had a lot of great times over the years. It's great to have you back, my man, Gazal.
Thank you. It's fun to be back. So Stretcher is out. And why don't we step aside for a couple of minutes and let the medical professionals do what they do, and they're doing a great job of keeping the situation under control. We'll step aside, and we'll come back with the rest of this game for you. Right now it's 51-30 RCC leading San Bernardino Valley. Junior college football in the city of Riverside on Riverside TV.
Here in California, citrus is a part of our lives every day. But what if it all just disappeared? A devastating plant disease called Huanglongbing, or HLB, spread by the Asian citrus psyllid, is fatal for citrus trees, and it might be found in your own backyard. That's why it's important that we all do our part to keep California's citrus safe. Don't let California's citrus disappear. Visit CaliforniaCitrusThreat.org to learn more.
Got junk too big for the trash can? Then call 311 to schedule a bulky item pickup. Riverside residents get 2 free pickups a year, but you gotta follow 3 simple rules. Bulky items must be curbside by 5:30 a.m. the day of your pickup, light enough for 2 people to lift, and the total volume can't be larger than 8 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot. If you got a lot of junk, check out our bulky item and e-waste drop-off events held several times each year. Bulky item pickup. Call us today and we'll haul it away.
Police officer pilot. I've been with the city for a little over 10 years. I've always loved aviation and I've always loved law enforcement, so to be able to combine the two together, two of the things that I love the most. I've got experience in the background in law enforcement, so to couple that with aviation and fly every day and still do police work, that's why I'm out here. Work day shift 7 to 5. I usually get here a little before 7. We'll get an email on what occurred the previous evening, so I'll go through those. I'll also check temporary flight restrictions, so I'll check those and see if there's any in the area that we can't fly into. And then we'll go out and do a pre-flight on the helicopter. We'll walk around, check everything, make sure everything's functioning properly. And sometimes we're up for patrol. Other times when we're here on the ground, we'll respond to an incident. If a vehicle pursuit or a foot pursuit or something goes out, we'll launch for that. If there's a fire in the river bottom, we'll go up and provide air support for the firemen on the ground. Code enforcement uses us for their green pool flights, so we'll go up and we'll look for green pools. We're assisting a lot of different departments. I'm a 4th generation Riverside resident out of 5 generations now. My family has set roots here back in the 1900s, and I've got a connection to Riverside, so family and friends are here, and it's nice to give back to the community that you've been brought up in. So, if I were to describe my job in 2 words, it would be uniquely awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. I get to fly a helicopter and do something that I really enjoy doing, at the same time protecting and serving a community that I grew up in. So.
Welcome back, Wheelock Stadium. RCC 51, San Bernardino Valley 30, 74th battle for the victory bell, and we had a player for San Bernardino Valley taken off the field. It was Tyrone Mitaina. He's a freshman lineman from Citrus Valley High School in Redlands. We'll go down to the field to Pep Fernandez to get some details on what just transpired before they get back to live play.
And since I'm being in Riverside for so many years, I said, well, this is a good opportunity.
Yeah, I was talking to some of the folks here on the sideline, including the Sports Information Director, Bill Norris, for San Bernardino Valley College. It was hard to see exactly what was happening on the line. There's so many bodies up there, the linemen. It was actually hard to see, but from what I understand was he had been kind of banged up throughout the game. I don't know. I hate to speculate. This was a culmination of a series of smaller injuries leading up to a larger one that we just saw. But he had been kind of nicked and knacked throughout this game. And, of course, as they load him into the ambulance right over here on the visitor sideline, we only hope the best for him. And San Bernardino Valley College going back to this actual football game, already shorthanded, especially thin up front on that offensive line. And now the Wolverines are looking at a deficit of 21 points with about 12 minutes to go in this game. Can the Wolverines offense put together some touchdown drives here already? Again, thin up front and a lack of offensive linemen. We're going to find out, guys.
All right, great explanation from Pep on that. And obviously it's unfortunate. They already had a lineman, Corey Butcher, a Riverside kid, played at King and Notre Dame, kind of banged up. And Mitaina had stepped up for him, the freshman from Citrus Valley. And as you mentioned, or as Pep mentioned, the Wolverines a little bit banged up and number of guys not playing. We were expecting to see Kevon Johnson, the freshman from Summit. We haven't seen him yet. You see the prayer circle for the team, for the Wolverine team on the far sideline there. They all stand up there. Brother has been loaded into the ambulance and hopefully getting the care he needs. They'll take him across the street to the hospital, and obviously you hope it ends in a positive way, and it probably will. The sports medicine personnel were right on it, and you and I were both at a couple of games last year, basketball games, where issues happened on the court, and sports medicine people kind of sprung into action, and man, they do such a fantastic job.
They do a great job, and I'll tell you, everybody was sitting here with bated breath, concerned for that young man, and I hope he feels a lot better.
42-yard attempt coming for Falk. Has the distance, but it misses left. So a field goal missed from 42 yards. It'll remain 51-30, 11:47 to play in this one. Ghazal Hassan, Jeff Gorham with you. Pep Fernandez down along the sideline. Got to meet Brian Wilson today. He did your sideline reporting last game.
Yes.
He's shadowing Pep, trying to learn a thing or two, and he's shadowing a good guy to learn from. And then obviously our entire award-winning Riverside TV production crew.
Yes.
Always great to see those guys. Scott, Doug, Steve is back today.
Yes.
Ryan down there, Carrie in the truck, among others. Trevor, of course. Here's the give over the 30-yard line for RCC. Carrying the football is Thomas Kinslow. Kinslow, the freshman out of Centennial.
And Trevor directing for the second time. He's the Steven Spielberg right now in the truck.
I thought he was the Tarantino.
Could be Tarantino.
Once Upon a Time in Riverside. That would be a story.
Oh, I have that story. I have it written.
Oh, yeah. 6-yard pickup for Kinslow, 2nd and 4 from the 27 for RCC. They lead at 51-30. They've scored the last 20 points of this game, and Kinslow goes and is taken down. Shaylon Lewis gets some help from Montre Moore for San Bernardino Valley. The Wolverines come in 2-0, 19th in the coaches poll, 12th in the SID poll. They're first in their American Conference division, whereas the Tigers play out of the National Southern Division. They're number 1 in that division as well in 3 other polls. So 2nd and 1, the ball on the 34-yard line. Ty Kennedy to the top of the screen. He's got 3 touchdowns today. Jacob Barledge behind center. Takes the snap, gives to Kinslow, and Kinslow is slung down. Shaylon Lewis makes the play for San Bernardino Valley. Lewis stepping in because of some injuries. sophomore from Rubidoux, where he played for young Pat Thompson.
That's a great coach right there. The Doe.
The Doe, yeah. So here comes the punt team on at 4th and 3 from the 32. Carson Reed. Reed, 2 kicks today, 53 and 39 yards, averaging 46 yards a kick. Put one inside the 20 last week against Fullerton as a flag flies. Delay a game, it'll back off 5 yards. Had 10 punts last week against Fullerton and put 5 inside the 20, and was talking to Tom Kraft to prepare for this game, and he told me, you know what, our defense and our special teams picked us up and got us the win. It was a big win for them. Here's the kick. Feel it about the 38-yard line. 35-yard kick in the air, and they'll cut him right down the defender. Jorge Alvarado on the return.
On the tackle was number 26. Ball spotted right at the 40-yard line.
So ball at the 40. Torrance Hill with the tackle for RCC. And the Wolverines with 9:30 to play in the fourth quarter. Down 51-30. The last points they got came at 11:02 of the third quarter, a 38-yard field goal from Ben Falk. At that time, Jeff, it was a 31-30 game, and it looked like maybe the Wolverines were going to flip the script on RCC.
They did, and then all of a sudden, Barledge and company.
Turner trying to bounce outside but cannot. Zechariah Holyfield on the tackle. Turner closing in on 100 yards. He had 91 coming into the fourth quarter, but has only carried the ball twice in this quarter. That's a loss, so he'll go backwards. Three receivers to the near side. And he'll throw to the outside. Incomplete. That was Hill on coverage for RCC, was Lionel Masivi. Eric Wells, is the intended receiver. Wells, the sophomore from Pacific High School.
And that really wasn't a bad pass. I mean, he was on full stride, hit him in the hands. He just wasn't ready for it. A pretty good pass there by Musa.
Well, nothing like his first 2 games. RCC has really dialed things up against Jeremy Musa. Part of it is how they've bought the pressure. Musa, complete, just inside of midfield. That was complete to Nolan. Deonze Nolan Jr. makes the reception. Sophomore out of Silverado High School. Nolan, his 4th reception. He's got a touchdown on the evening as well. 4th and 1, and the Wolverines will go. The give to Turner. He'll bust up to the 49-yard line. I believe they're going to mark him close to the first down. And the sticks will immediately move up right on that painted tiger visage at midfield.
First down, Wolverine.
So if you're Daniel Algadas right now, obviously you can still try to win the game, but
yeah, you just want to improve on what you're doing. You're playing against the number 1 team in the nation. You got to continue to play and throw the football. Play your game.
Here's Howard around to the outside. He gets upended. Howard tackled by Kama Moore. Moore, another freshman. He's Hawaiian. We were talking earlier. He's from the same high school as Marcus Mariota.
Nice.
Played at St. Louis. They're ranked in the USA top 25 for high school football. Private boys school in Honolulu. So ball moves up to the 47, 2nd and 6. To Nolan, incomplete, and a whistle. Wow. Estes one-on-one with Deonze Nolan, and the flag comes in. RCC, Jeff, I believe that would be number 16.
Yikes. You talked about Coach Kraft. Really wanted to shrink those penalties.
You know, this is, you know, and I don't know. I don't want to speak for Coach Kraft, but I think the penalties of aggression you deal with.
Yes.
He specifically was talking to me about stuff on the offensive line because he said that you can't get into a rhythm on offense. They're definitely in a rhythm tonight on offense. Through the first 3 quarters, they'd rolled up 500 yards. And that'll move the sticks for San Bernardino. So pass interference and roughing the passer. The ball will move to the 32-yard line of RCC and San Bernardino Valley in business.
First and 10, ball spotted at the 32-yard line.
Nolan to the bottom of the screen on the far side is Wells. And down goes Musa, loses the football. Ball still loose, picked up by Holyfield. Holyfield picks it up at the 45. It's blown dead. Fourth turnover of the game by San Bernardino Valley. Look at it again. Ball security has been an issue tonight. Holyfield just pops him and down it goes. Couple of spots at it, then Holyfield picks it up himself and they rule him down there.
Yeah, Musa held the ball really low there. He was able to slap it away.
Quarterback back to pass. The ball was fumbled. Recovered by the Tigers. First down, Tigers.
The Tigers defense has made some big plays when they've needed to, particularly here in the second half. 31-27 game at the half. And then coming out in the second half, San Bernardino Valley stopped RCC on their initial drive and put up a field goal. That was at 11:02 of the third quarter. Since then, it's been all RCC. 7:14 to play in this one. Here's the give to Kinslow. A little bit of a jitterbug. He's into the open field. To the house goes Thomas Kinslow. From Corona Centennial, a 56-yard run.
And a flag on the play. I believe it will be after the touchdown.
Kinslow, a freshman from Corona Centennial. His long coming into the game was a 7-yard run, but takes that 56 yards. So it'll be a foul on San Bernardino Valley, which will be assessed on the kickoff. So 57-30, Kinslow, an electrifying run. PAT coming up. On to try the PAT again is Ricardo Chavez. Chavez out of Valley View as well. A freshman, and he makes the PAT, and it's a 57-30 game. And the perfect example of when you turn the ball over, the turnover is half of it, but can the other team capitalize? And Kinslow just goes right on that left side, running behind the big boys, Kevin Brown and Donnie Long. And he's into the end zone. Long, the guard out of Norco, Brown, the left tackle out of Centennial. And the offensive line has really picked it up here in the second half as well. You want to acknowledge the big boys, Kevin Brown, Donnie Long, Ryan Suliafa'u, Cole Sane, and Christian Connolly, the big guys up front for RCC. A lot of local guys. We mentioned Brown and Long out of the Big 8. Suliafa'u is from Riverside, but he played at J. Sarah in high school. Cole Sane started at King, ended up at St. John Bosco. And Christian Connolly, the right tackle, the freshman out of Upland High. So now Reed will kick off from the 50. He could almost punt the ball at this point. Reed, the punter, as well as the place kicker, will kick the ball from midfield. 58-30 with the PAT, with 7 minutes straight up remaining in this one. Thanks for joining us. Had a little bit of a delay because of an injury. Ghazal Hassan with you, along with Jeff Gorham, Pep Fernandez patrolling the sideline, along with Brian Wilson, and then our award-winning Riverside TV crew back in the truck. So we get a chance to go down to Pep and ask about the victory bell. So here's the touchback, and Carson Reed, like Nuke LaLoosh and Bull Durham, announcing his presence with authority as he booms that one out of the end zone.
Did I mention I'm coaching Little League Baseball, and guess what? My team, the Durham Bulls.
Oh, wow, great. We have Pep Fernandez, I believe.
We do?
Pep Fernandez, about the origin or the location of that victory bell. Do we have it, Pep?
Gazal and Jeff, here's the deal. We are about 7 minutes away from RCC keeping the bell here at RCC. Where exactly is a very good question. It is on campus. It is not here in Wheelock Stadium. The exact location is unknown, so it's not lost. It has been found. It's just not here, but it looks like for the time being, the Tigers will be keeping it here at RCC in some closet somewhere here on campus. But it is safe. It is here. It has been found. But where exactly, we do not know. The mission continues. Back to you guys.
I feel like we just opened Al Capone's tomb.
I want to know, yes. Where's Geraldo Rivera? We got to find this. Find this bell.
5-yard penalty was whistled on the defense, moving the ball up for San Bernardino Valley. Then we have another timeout. And, 74th meeting between the two teams, Jeff. They started playing in 1926. They hadn't played between 2003 and 2011, and then they didn't play again until between 2011 and 2017. They revitalized the series or resumed the series last year, and Riverside won that one big. I think it's important. I mean, and both coaches downplayed it, but it's a cross-county rivalry, and you have so many guys on both sides of this rivalry who played locally in either Riverside or San Bernardino.
Yeah, it's a great game. In fact, you see the crowd out here. It's a nearly a packed house, and it's nice to see San Bernardino Valley kind of come back because they were they weren't great, but Daniel Algadas came in and really turned this program around, and they're going to be good for years to come because he's such a great recruiter, and he's had some great quarterbacks the last few years.
1st and 5 from the 30. Here's Turner, and I believe that puts him over 100 if he gets up to the 34. And more flags have coming in now. Now it's starting to get testy.
In fact, he had Armando Herrera the last few years. He was a great quarterback.
Remember, our good friend John Ramey, who's out in El Paso working for the University of Nevada. Ty Ganji, who was Nevada's quarterback last year, led them to an 8-4, 8-5 year. He played for Coach Algadas. So penalty, we marched off against RCC again. That would be close to 20 penalties now, Jeff.
At least.
58-30, though. RCC in control of this one. 6:51 to play in the fourth quarter. The battle for the victory bell. RCC closing in on their 9th straight win over San Bernardino Valley. And here's Turner. Interesting, I was talking with Matt Logan. I did the Centennial game last week for Fox, and Turner crosses into RCC territory. And, the entire Centennial offense, it's a high-powered passing offense, but it's all predicated on the run. They've sent so many running backs to Division I, and Turner kind of giving you an idea of how that works with Jeremy Musa. You knew Musa can throw the football around. Turner, again, gets up to the 46-yard line, so 2 more yards for him. It'll be a 3rd down.
Great quarterbacks at Centennial, but great running backs. Miles Reed.
Right. He's in Hawaii right now.
At Hawaii with Freddie Holly, another local guy.
Norte Vista guy. Got to throw the Norte Vista love. You had Frank Corral out earlier.
You like that, huh?
I do. Under 6 minutes to play, fourth quarter. 3rd down. Here's Turner, left side. Turner gets up. I didn't think he quite got to the marker, but he's close. Needed to get over the 40. I don't think he quite got there. He was inside the 40. That's where the line judge is standing. All I remember about that Super Bowl is 60 prevent, slot, hook, and go. That's the play they used from Bradshaw to Stallworth. I think twice. 2 touchdowns, right? And Stallworth had 2 touchdowns in that game. So they did give him the first. 1st and 10 from the 40. And now a false start will be called on San Bernardino Valley. They're down to their, I think, their 3rd string center. Because Butcher's in there. So Butcher's in there. Butcher and Tyrone Mitaina. We saw Tyrone Mitaina carted off the field earlier, taken to the hospital. Hopefully we get an update from Pep when we get a chance. The clock continues to move. Jeremy Musa back to throw over the middle. Pretty ball, but incomplete. Pringle was the intended receiver on the coverage for Riverside. Victor Terry.
49 on the coverage, number 3 on the coverage for Riverside.
Terry, the sophomore from Hawkins High School.
That brings up a 2nd and 15 for the Wolverines.
Play action. Musa complete to Schroeder. Slides up to the 26-yard line.
Those two have connected tonight quite a few times. Got a pretty good target there with Schroeder.
19-yard pickup. It'll be 1st and 10 for San Bernardino. Devontae Davis Smith in coverage. He's from Chicago Simeon High School. Complete to Nolan. Nolan inside the 10, down about the 7-yard line. Tackled by Joey Mahop for RCC.
First and goal, Wolverines.
So Musa navigating down the field and flags and whistles. He's got 3 touchdown passes already, does Musa. All in the first half, and the foul penalty will be assessed against San Bernardino Valley. He hit 1 to Nolan, 1 to Schroeder, and 1 to Staples. Actually, make that 4, because he had 1 to Jorge Alvarado as well. So 1st and goal, but they're back at the 13. Throwing, touchdown. Tate Pringle reels it in.
Yeah, Pringle's been pretty dynamic tonight as well. We've called his name a few times. He was wide open. Great throw, great catch.
Lincoln Southeast in Lincoln, Nebraska is where he hails from.
I think they're outside it.
Enjoying the Inland Empire, obviously, on that play with the touchdown. 58-36 with 4:02 to play in regulation. So now the wheels start to spin. If you're Daniel Algadas, what do? I mean, you kick the ball to RCC, it's probably coming back the other way into the end zone.
Yeah.
You hazard the onside. Both teams
Yes.
kind of pride themselves on their special teams. We know Falk's got a big leg. How is he on the onside strategy? This one is good, the PAT, and it's 58-37. Another look at the touchdown pass. Musa just so smooth in terms of his delivery. Little touch, put a little air under it. Pringle went up and got it. Great to see all the local kids, though, playing tonight on both sides of the ball because we cover them on the high school side here on Riverside TV.
Yeah, and just shows you how good Inland Empire football is. You have the number 1 ranked team in the country. You have the number 19th ranked team in the state of California. And the majority of these stars are our guys.
I'd be remiss. I want to point out one of the assistants on Coach Algadas' staff. He coaches the defensive backs. Bobby Hosea.
Yes.
Hosea, he's an alum of San Bernardino Valley College, and he played at UCLA. I believe he was right on the cusp between Vermeil and Donahue. I think he played for Terry Donahue. And then, so I'm impressed on a number of levels by him. He played both in the CFL and the USFL.
Hey,
that's pretty impressive.
Cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, exactly. Guys like you're our age.
That's cool.
That's the coolest thing in the world, right? And then he later became a very successful actor. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a little bit. Right now on the field, though, 58-37 in favor of RCC, and Falk will boom it. So no onside kick. Laurent calls for the fair catch at the 5.
Do you have any of his acting credits?
I have 2, so they're sports-related, right?
Yes.
I didn't want to go too off the reservation, but number of guest stars on episodic TV, but he played Elston Howard in the Billy Crystal movie 61.
Oh.
And his big line comes when Roger Maris is going to break the record. They go play the Orioles, and the Orioles intentionally walk him. And he goes up to the top of the dugout and yells out at the pitcher, Bush Leaguer, you know. And then, of course, about almost 25 years ago now, 1st and 10 from the 25 after the fair catch. Here's the handoff. Maybe a yard on the play. Bartlett's still in at quarterback. The ball carried by Martinique Finn, freshman from Oak Hills High in Phelan, California. Fox made a rip from the headlines movie in 1995 about the O.J. Simpson thing.
Yes.
And he played O.J. Simpson.
Wow.
And he played it pretty well. You can find the movie on YouTube if you look.
I will check it out.
2nd and 9 from the 26 for RCC. Talking about San Bernardino defensive backs coach Bobby Hosea. Here's the give. Finn again, pinballing and now thrown back. Edward Berry, sophomore from Davenport, Florida, in on the tackle. Down to 3 minutes to play in regulation. Clock continues to move. RCC will host Long Beach City College here at 6 p.m. next week. We'll have that one for you on Riverside TV for the Wolverines. They're on the road to Los Angeles at LA Southwest before returning home on October 5th to take on Pasadena.
Have you been out to San Bernardino Valley College's new football stadium?
I have not. I almost was out there because supposedly they were going to play the Battle of the Shield on Thursday there.
One of the most beautiful stadiums, high-tech, air-conditioned press box, pretty nice.
Timeout RCC with 2:31 to play. I've seen it, obviously, watching games. Our good friend Pep Fernandez is involved over there, helping him out, the program. And yeah, on TV it looks pretty beautiful.
It's incredible. I mean, it's.
Are they going to play? Are they going to play some CIF games there, like playoff games? Would they?
I'm not sure they could. I mean, it could hold. I think Calhoun used it for the year that they were redoing their football field. I think that was their home games.
Speaking of Calhoun, how about Jaden Daniels at ASU?
I'll tell you what, he beats Michigan State on the road. But there's another guy, Hank Bachmeyer. I
was going to bring it up. Your guy who was on TV last night against the Air Force.
Yes.
Yeah, the power of Bachmeyer. They both started as freshmen in high school, and now starting as freshmen in college. I remember I had an interesting conversation about that with Eric Galliano when we did their game a couple of years ago, because they played Jaden Daniels. San Jacinto played Calhoun in the playoff with Jaden Daniels as a freshman. And he said that was he said that affected me. Coach Galliano said that. I think Bill Powell was the head coach at the time. 3rd and 7 from the 28. Arledge will air it out. Down the field is Kennedy, and he can't come up with it. Speed to burn, a little bit underthrown, but man, look at the separation from Ty Kennedy.
But how do you underthrow? I mean, how do you overthrow?
Right, you can't overthrow.
You can't.
Right,
He's
he's too fast.
He's Kid Flash.
Played for Jeff Steinberg at the Rancho Verde High. Coach Steinberg, of course, now over at Beaumont. The Duffy's back in charge at Rancho Verde, and they're looking pretty good.
Yeah,
the Mustangs out of Moreno Valley.
And Tyler Kennedy was part of that CIF state championship in track.
Doesn't it figure? 2:23 to go. They'll kick it away. Flagging on the play, delay on RCC. They'll back it off again. John Zimble, to my right, the official score tonight, 20 penalties on RCC for 193 yards at this point in the game. Good kick by Reed. It'll roll inside the 35 and be down at about the 33. So 44-yard kick, no return, and San Bernardino will tee it up. Don't forget the long night of arts and innovation on October 10th. Jeff Gorham, Pep Fernandez will be hosting.
We'll be hosting. It's 5 to 11 p.m. downtown Riverside. It is like a big science fair. Science, technology, engineering, and math, and a lot of great things going on the long night of arts and innovation. Look it up on longnightriverside.com.
So call it officially the 32 first and 10. Mosa to throw. Off of Turner's hands, incomplete. Holyfield on the coverage for RCC, 2nd and 10 coming up. The defense stepped up, Jeff, in the second half when it needed to for RCC. San Bernardino kept it close for a little more than a half, and then the defense made some plays, and the offense was able to execute as well for RCC. Line is the 32, 2nd and 10 for the Wolverines. Sokerud out of the backfield. Daryl Turner Jr. gets up near the 40. So about 7 yards on the play. 3rd and short will be coming up.
Picks up about 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Wolverines.
Down under 2 minutes here in the fourth quarter. Turner slams up to the 40. Not much there. So it'll be 4th down. I thought the Wolverines, Jeff, acquitted themselves well. I think it speaks well of them going forth into Mountain Division American Conference play.
Yeah, and we've seen, in the last 2 years that they've gotten better. They shrunk that game from last year, and Coach Algadas definitely has the Wolverines going in the right direction.
Did not go in the right direction on that drive. The ball will go over on downs to RCC. So it'll be RCC football with 1:26 to play in this one. And the Tigers will maintain their ranking with a win over the Wolverines. But got to be excited for Daniel Algadas and his team. They crept into both polls. 19th in the coaches poll, 12th in the SID poll for junior colleges. Did the Wolverines.
I think they're going to stay in the poll. They gave the Tigers everything they could. Tigers just too potent offensively and defensively tonight.
9-2 last year.
Ball headed off to number 32. Would be Finn.
Martinique, Finn with the football again, and Finn for a couple for RCC. Talking to Tom Kraft this week, we're talking about the rankings, and you know what, rankings don't matter. I never look at him, and he said, I know every coach looks at him, but he said, I look at him at the end of the year. I mean, at this point, yes. I don't care. We just need to win every week. And it's interesting, both these coaches, when I talked to them, they both won last week, but none of them had anything kind to say. They were all,
of course not. They're football
they were all
coaches.
Obsessed about what can we do better. Martinique bounces to the outside, finding a little bit of space, and finally ridden down inside the 25. First man to him, I believe, was Pollard. David Pollard from Riverside, Notre Dame. He's a great story. So Pollard is one of the positive stories when you cover junior college football. He was a senior as we look at Martinique. Nice little juke there by Martinique to get outside. Pollard was the number 4 riding him down. Pollard played on the 2015 Notre Dame CIF championship team that played in a state bowl game. He was a 550-pound free safety. And obviously wouldn't get any looks from colleges as the kneel down starts as we're under 30 seconds to play. He started his career at RCC and then got an opportunity to play for Daniel Algadas, and he's really acquitted himself well, the young sophomore, starting at free safety this year for the Wolverines. Played his high school games on this field, and now they'll have the handshakes at midfield. RCC with the final 58-37. They'll go to 3-0. And maintain their number 1 overall ranking. RCC in the second half really separated themselves from San Bernardino.
They did, and I'll tell you what, Algadas and his players at San Bernardino Valley can't hang their heads. They played very, very well. The gap of the two teams has definitely shrunk, but a great game overall for this big rivalry for the Bell.
4 turnovers for San Bernardino Valley. Or was it 5? Maybe it was 5 turnovers. And then the 20 penalties for RCC obviously kind of brought the game together. But in the third quarter in particular, RCC just stepped it up on the defensive side, on the offensive side. And then by then, I think with some of the attrition on the San Bernardino Valley side, the Wolverines were a little bit gassed. So not like last year when it was kind of a runaway for RCC. San Bernardino kept this game close into the third quarter.
They really did. And I'll tell you what, Arledge was amazing in that third quarter, I want to say. And Kennedy
at one point, he was 12 of 13.
Yeah.
I don't know what. We'll get the numbers in a little bit.
But, yeah, those two guys, he and Kennedy, were dynamic in that third quarter. And I really just think they blew open the game.
And how about Tyler Kennedy today? Just dynamic. 4 touchdowns for him, including an electrifying 85-yard catch and run. Final numbers across the board for San Bernardino Valley. They had 444 yards of total offense, right around where they had last year. I think last year in this game it was 437. Riverside rolled up 582 yards, did RCC. Standouts on the game, Darrell Turner Jr. had 115 yards on the ground for San Bernardino Valley against a team that doesn't give up many rushing yards. Jeremy Musa threw for 340 yards and 4 touchdowns. On the Riverside side, Mike Irwin, very efficient, 17 of 28, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns. He ran for a touchdown. Jacob Arledge ended up, Jeff, 12 of 14, 239 yards, and 3 touchdowns as well. And then Thomas Kinslow late with a big run, a 61-yard run for a touchdown. And we'll cycle through some of the highlights from the second half. Starting off, Musa here. Again, he had a good game. We talked about 340 yards, not a close to the first 2 games where he'd thrown for over 1,000. Here's the opening pick by Reyes, which was eventually called back because of a penalty. Looking at Tyler Kennedy's numbers, 5 catches for him, 132 yards and 3 touchdowns. Here's Irwin with a run, and now here's a pass to Giovanni Sanders, and Sanders takes that the distance into the end zone for a touchdown. Musa connects with Nolan for a touchdown. Here's Kennedy. There's the 85 run. This is the physical run that got him into the end zone. And then Musa giving it to Schroeder, who gets in. And Musa throwing. That's Alvarado with the touchdown. And look at Barledge find Kennedy. This was the one that kind of opened it up for RCC, responding after a field goal by San Bernardino Valley. And then Barledge again over the middle to the big tight end, Anthony Rodriguez. And then the scrum, and Barledge, after being denied a play before, finally gets in behind his big offensive line. And then here's Kinslow. Kinslow takes the ball, and he's gone to the end zone. The kid from Corona Centennial putting the coup de grace on this one for RCC. Musa, last time, puts it into the end zone. Touchdown to Pringle. And that's how it ends by a score of 58-37. Obviously sending good wishes to Tyrone Metaina and his family. He is the freshman out of Citrus Valley, had to leave the game with an injury earlier. Final thoughts, Jeff Gorham.
I'll tell you what, both teams gave it their all. Like I said, Coach Algadas has a potent offense. He's got a great quarterback in Jeremy Musa, but we also saw on the reverse side, we saw RCC, and they've got themselves 2 great quarterbacks. They have playmakers on both sides of the ball, and that's why they are ranked number 1 nationally and in the state. So very good teams.
Entertaining evening here at Wheelock Stadium. I think if you're a fan of either team, you had a good time this evening watching this inter-county rivalry. I hope it continues.
Yeah, because it's a great event. It's a great event for the community. It's a great event for these players who played here at at this stadium in high school, for them to come back and for them to just play in front of the home crowd.
The number 1 team in the country, the Tigers, go to 3-0 with the win. First loss of the year for San Bernardino Valley. Remember last year they lost to RCC and didn't lose again until they got to the playoffs.
That's right. They won their conference championship and ended up losing in the playoffs. But I'll tell you what, yeah, they're a fantastic team, and I'm sure Coach Algadas will have his shot down the road with San Bernardino Valley, winning a lot more games.
You know, they are in different conferences. You don't want to downplay it, but obviously this is probably a bigger game for the Wolverines than it is for the Tigers. But the Tigers just want to get out with a win, which they did today, 58-37. We're back next week here, 6 o'clock kick. We will be on board as RCC hosts Long Beach City College, and I believe Pep Fernandez has Jacob Arledge down on the field.
All right, guys, welcome back down to the field. A couple of the RCC Tigers after a big 21-point win against SBVC tonight. The quarterback, Jacob Arledge. And Jacob, my first question for you would be, how do you always just stay ready on the sideline when your number's called?
I mean, it starts in practice, you know. I mean, when I get my reps in practice, I'm just always trying to take advantage of everything I got. When I get the meetings, I'm always trying to get better every day and with every rep I get.
What were you guys doing in the third quarter? Because it was a one-point game at one point, and then you guys were able to pull away offensively. What was clicking?
I mean, just everything. I mean, we made some adjustments in the first half. We saw what they wanted to do, and we adjusted, and it just got it going.
All right, congrats, Jacob.
Thank you.
All right, let's go over here to Tyler Kennedy as well. This is one of the guys where I just want to get like a bowl of popcorn and sit back and watch. But Tyler, you had some electric plays in this game. When the ball gets in your hands, what are you trying to do?
Score. That's for my team, I'm the playmaker, and I know I got to score every time I touch it. And if I can't score, at least get a first down to get our defense and our offense uplifted.
You're a local guy. You went to the Rancho Verde High School, Moreno Valley. So you know the importance of the Bell game and RCC and SBVC. How bad did you guys want this one?
Man, we wanted it bad. Those guys, they be talking a lot, but I love it, though. I love it, though. Those are my boys over there. Much respect to them. They play a hard game. And, we just come out, we play competitive. That's all we focus on all week.
Congrats, Tyler.
Appreciate it.
All right, Tyler Kennedy and Jacob Arledge, a big 58-37 win against San Bernardino Valley College tonight. Back upstairs, Gazal and Jeff.
That old Inland Valley League, right? You had Valley View and Moreno Valley. Tyler Kennedy, of course, with his 3 touchdowns, and then Jacob Arledge, 12 of 14 through the air. The coach's son really stepping into his role this year for head coach Tom Kraft. Well, that's it for us from here at Wheelock Stadium. 58-37, the final. RCC over San Bernardino Valley. The victory bell stays in Riverside for yet another year. So for Pep Fernandez, for Jeff Gorham, and our entire award-winning Riverside TV crew, and of course, to my right, the great official scorer, John Zimble. My name's Ghazal Hassan. We'll talk to you next Saturday at 6 o'clock against Long Beach City College. So long, everybody.